Bullhorn that much outside of like I only use it for ad clear nowadays. Because if I'm doing damage, I like big numbers, so I'll do like Izzy swaps either with a hothead or if I'm either usually with Cataclysmic, but if I'm feeling lazy, I'll use a hothead.
Mercy, you back, buddy?
Yeah, I had to get my wings.
See? I knew it.
Oh my god, they were right.
Yeah, you guys called it. Yeah, get in the game, buddy. Just waiting on you.
So I might not be able to do much in terms of like actually rolling and watching shit because I am
He's getting his
in the middle of
butt
the dungeon.
handed to
Once
him.
it's over, I'll be in 100%.
Well, that's one thing I was actually going to address too, because at the end of the last session, there was discussion about you guys wanting to go search for any Vex that might be in the area. So I was going to ask you guys if you wanted to start with that, or if you wanted to do anything before that.
I mean, where did we end? I can't remember where we ended off.
So yeah, I'll give the recap at the start here, and we'll just kind of jump into it from there. But we all ready to go?
All I remember is the box that
Think
wiped
so.
us out.
No, that was the Halloween one shot. Remember, that's
Yeah, I
that's
know,
not
I
canon.
Hey guys, I had a
Fortunately-
weird dream. What about you?
Fortunately, both
That's all I
Elias
can think of.
and Ash getting outsmarted by a fucking box is not canon.
No, it's not. But there's a whole discussion that could be had about what happened there too.
Honestly, there
You know what? I
there
don't
was
think we're gonna have it.
There was one-
No, I don't want to go into it.
That will be
There
a
was one
Q&A
thing
for
that
next
I,
time.
there's something I did realize, and I was the closest one to the objective without even knowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were, because you're only a
was-
couple rooms away from the actual objective.
I was the only one that went
How
upstairs.
stupid we are.
Yeah. I just sat there and I was laughing my butt off because I was like,
This
oh
is what
my
Axis
god.
is, isn't it? No, that's not Axis. This is Axis.
I am missing
All right.
cable. Hello, cable. Where are you, cable? It's
I don't know where it
okay.
is.
I am fine. I will find cable while I try to lose my mind over here.
Got the chat open
The
here.
Suns,
What's a chat?
The stream chat.
dogs.
No, don't talk to people. Oh my god, they're existing then.
I acknowledge our
This
audience.
is Axis. I'm actually stupid.
Well, we're gonna be right back for that one. Like, no. Missing cable. Where is cable? Oh, little cable. Where is the cable? Wait, I don't know. There's my pencil. That's where it is. I'm looking for cable and the pencil.
Soul Drinker do be going hard.
That is not the cable. Oh, well, I want to switch screens to main and da 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 da.
All right. So again, if anyone is interested in checking out the books for this game, velvetfanggames.com/DnDestiny. It's available there for free. Go ahead and check it out. Show these guys some love, because without them, this game is not possible. And they actually have some pretty cool stuff going on too with their own project with the Deck of Possibilities. Their own kind of a unique kind of a game that is Dungeons and Dragons themed, but it's got its own twist to it. So
D&D.
yeah. It's a card game. So
It's already live,
check it
so-
out. See if you guys are interested. Yeah, the Kickstarter is already live. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Show these guys love, because again, without them, this game just doesn't work. So
Never. Read the thing. Well, whatever.
yeah.
Okay, let me get it back to the main page. There we go. And then we got
All
this
right.
one. There we are.
So let us dive back in. And welcome back, by the way, too. We did have our Halloween one-shot, so we're going to have kind of a bit more of a extended recap here, just to bring us back up to speed. So, when we last left our heroes, the party returned from the castle after their encounter with the corrupted Elias and saving Malachi. Heading back to Earth, the party reached out to Malachi's associate and bodyguard Julius, and Julius advised the party to meet him on Venus at the Ishtar Academy. While en route and changing course from Earth to Venus, Remy looked through the tomes of the old arcana that were recovered by the party and confirmed what she was told by Godhand, that the symbol tattooed on her back was a magical seal called Celestial Rage. Reeling from this revelation, she went off to the observation deck to think. Theo and Uros visited her separately to talk, and after some discussion and some comforting words, she returned to the party and revealed to the rest of them what she had already knew. As the party arrived on Venus and met up with Julius, they got Malachi medical care, and he's still unconscious, but he's being treated. So he's being worked on, but quite a bit was done to him, and that seems more and more evident as time goes on, and as the doctors look him over. Now with Malachi in care, the team gathered their thoughts and started to notice something very strange about where they were at. That it was very quiet, with very little Vex presence, which in of itself is very strange, as the world was thought to be a Vex territory. While the party is deciding their next move, Remy decides she wants to try and learn how to control the Celestial Rage in the hopes of turning it against Godhand. Julius offered to help her with this. So as the party is now deciding their next move, a discussion is about to begin.
Thanks.
At the last session, you guys were wanting to scout the area for any Vex. Did you want to do any of this before? Did you want to do anything before you head out on this, or did you want to discuss it like any other options?
I feel like our first priority should be to make sure that like nothing's hanging out waiting to sneak up on us.
Well, so far, most of the academy that you've been through so far, it's quiet. There's been literally no Vex presence.
You never know. Better
Yep.
safe than sorry and all that.
Yep. So, do all of you want to go scouting on this, or do you want to break up into groups and do scouting more of the area, or how would you like to do that?
It's more just like what's in the area more than anything. Like what hasn't been explored by Julius's crew and all of them.
So pretty much the entire campus grounds, like pretty much every like the buildings that you've been in and the surrounding buildings around you, because you're up at kind of a top floor, in the current structure you're in, and you're able to look out across the campus, and you are able to see some of the other academy buildings there, some of the trees and the courtyard and a lot of the area there. But you literally see nothing. It's just quiet. So there is actually another area that you could search that's kind of nearby. There's a little bit of a forested park that's nearby the academy. You can't really see too much into there just because of the way the tree line is, but if there was anything that might be out here, it's likely going to be in this area.
Oh. Fuck it. I mean, unless we just want to fly along some shorelines and just scout around and see.
Yeah, I feel like definitely scouting would be a good idea.
It would probably be in our best interest to split off so that we can cover some more ground.
Yeah. Just not in any like nobody goes solo here because
I heard go
yeah.
solo. Okay, I'm going
Venus is
solo.
the
Yeah, we
Vex
heard Portland go
territory,
solo.
Yeah.
We have learned.
Heard go solo. I'm going solo.
Yeah, let's go solo. I'm flying solo. Flying solo.
Well, if you're flying solo, what are you going to be doing?
No, I'm making a
it's a joke.
joke. You know, with the shitty Star Wars fucking Just Dance.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like, all right, well, I mean,
Yeah.
if y'all wanna go solo, just tell me what you want to do.
We
I-
might as well stick to groups at least.
Since we're on Venus, I kind of want to fly along the coast just slowly, like not insanely fast. I can't see anything, but not slow enough. I'm gonna get shot down by something if it does decide to take a pot shot at me.
I mean, so like you're not necessarily near like a coastline per se. I mean, you're around the Ishtar Academy right now, so like you're
Well, yeah,
if
the
you
Ishtar Academy had a fucking ocean methane next to it.
okay. I mean, if that's where you want to go, that's fine. All
Like,
right,
I'm just
so
flying along the shore, basically, just scanning the coastline.
okay. So that'll be for you. What's everyone else doing?
I guess we're checking what's past the trees. Yeah.
Okay, so is it just Theo who's gonna check the forested area, or who's gonna go with you?
I
I
can
can
go
go
with
with Theo.
Yeah, we can go with it.
Well, one of us goes with Theo, one of us goes with Elias.
I'll go with Elias.
Well, I mean, I can fly back to you guys easily. If y'all
Yeah,
need to get back to me, y'all can fly to me.
He's going by ship. We're on foot.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not going on my Sparrow
Just-
or anything.
Just make sure you don't get like, if something does happen, make sure just radio and
Yeah.
Breaker one, man. I got an issue
know.
out here.
basic safety stuff.
If I do run into anything worthy of contact.
Scream.
Scream.
Okay, so
Oh my god, there's Atheon!
Atheon just shows up. Sanctified mind.
Oh boy.
We're
All right, so
dead.
it's gonna be Elias is gonna be in the air, doing air recon, and the rest of you are going to the forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna ditch Elias up there.
I mean, no, he's in range of you guys, so.
Yeah, we're ditching him.
All right, so I'm going to reveal part of the map here, if it'll let me do it. Thank you.
No.
Bam. So you guys are walking along this footpath. It is covered a little bit in grass. Some of the foliage around this area is kind of starting to overtake the stonework that was originally laid here. At the moment, everything seems fairly quiet. You are starting to hear the sounds of some different. You're starting to hear the sounds of like little way off in the distance. It does not sound like an animal.
Well,
Yes.
that's funky. Let's see what that's about.
I feel like we're probably we're about to find the Vex.
You know.
Yay. Let's go see. Let's see.
All right, so yeah, you guys
Fair
will start to move up. Theo, I'd like for you to make a perception check since you moved up
Alright.
first.
18.
18. Okay, good. All right, so
Oops, I need
as
a
you're
sheet.
beginning to approach, you're starting to see this kind of a bridge over this little gap in the woods here. But you're starting to look further down, and you kind of squint. You're starting to see something a little bit. And this. So as you're looking across this bridge, you're looking at the back of a Hydra. It hasn't gotten your attention yet. It hasn't seen you guys yet. But you're seeing its back, and you're seeing its shields are active. They're actively spinning around it. But it just seems to be sitting here.
I'm just like gonna give a signal of like hold, like and
All right. I'll follow your lead. I'm not a proper warrior, honestly. I am a warlock.
Go touch him.
So how would you want to approach them?
so do they look like they're in a sleep state or like
They from looking at the Hydra, it's active, but you're not quite sure what it's doing. It just seems to be sitting here. So while you guys are kind of sitting here observing these guys, as you're kind of looking a little bit past the Hydra there a little bit, you are starting to see other Vex figures sort of circling it. But again, they seem to be in a somewhat dormant state. They just seem to be kind of sitting here. And you start, and as this is going on, you're starting to see the little scanning array of the goblins, but they don't seem to be actively scanning anything in particular. They just seem to be active.
Oh.
This is very peculiar to you guys because you haven't seen Vex behavior like this.
Take the forest line on the right. See if we can get better sighting.
Are they in like a defensive posture?
No.
Mm-mm.
And actually, Elias,
Let's
since
see.
you're kind of flying over, I'll have you do a perception check for your flight.
Okay, 1 second.
Oops, I just grabbed the
Yeah,
whole.
some information on them.
But yeah, so are you able to go
Yeah.
down the right, see if you can get a better vantage point?
24.
Over this way, or
Yeah.
this way? Okay, this way.
Over to the right.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna see if I can move up.
Just be quiet.
And these are trees up here, right, Dave?
So before you do that, before you move,
Okay.
actually, if you're gonna move that way, that's fine. But I was gonna say if you're gonna move up closer to it, I'm gonna have you roll a stealth.
I was
But
gonna say,
before
I'm
we do
just gonna
that,
try to figure a
Elias,
spot there.
with a 24, you're flying along that methane coastline, and it's really strange. You would think you're going to see at least squadrons of Vex in the area. You're used to hearing about some of these things just in the recent events, but this is peculiar. There's nothing along the coastline. And as you start to you come back and you start to head back towards the academy, you're getting a look over of the forested area that the rest of the group is in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting this overhead perspective of the Hydra is kind of in the middle here, and the rest of these Vex are forming like a half circle around it, and they're just standing looking up at the Hydra, and the Hydra is facing all of them.
Hmm.
Would you radio that information to your team?
I mean, I probably would, but is it the area that I know that they're going to?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
it's nearby the academy. So like as you've turned around and you're heading back towards the academy, you're going to fly over that area. And you've gained this perspective that the other guys do not have, is because they can't see what's genuinely behind the Hydra. So you can see the formation that is taking place here.
So it's not like they're taking a defensive formation around it. It's like they're looking at it.
They're doing something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna relay that information to them.
Why are they just staring at the Hydra then?
That is interesting. Is there anything unique about the Hydra? Like, does it look unique from like a normal Hydra, or?
Not that you can tell. Looking from this distance, it's somewhat hard to tell, but everything looks like the last Hydra that you encountered before in Europa. Looks almost the same.
It's not exactly possible for. Ooh. Do you think they're probably talking to each other like mentally? Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Eros, are you up in the trees, or are you just kind of like moving underneath them?
I was gonna say kind of moving underneath them around the trunks. I was gonna ask, can I stealth up anyway?
Yeah. Roll me a stealth.
All right, there you go.
17. Okay. Show me where you wanted to move.
I was gonna try and move more like to the other side of the trees, but I wanted to kind of be behind that, kind of behind this. But I'm trying
Sure.
to look around.
Okay. Yeah, so you're maneuvering through these big tree trunks that are over here, and you're kind of peeking around the corner a little bit to get an angle on it. I'll have you roll a perception.
Yay, percent. Oops, wrong screen. I'm like,
9.
mhm.
Their formation, like you're seeing you're seeing the Vex Goblin over here. You're seeing that there's a Minotaur here. You're starting to see kind of the formation that was relayed to you by Elias, but you're not seeing anything remarkable about it. You're basically confirming what was already told to you.
Okay. Well, nothing seems different. We see the same thing.
So what shall we just take them out?
I guess so. I mean, we could, but what exactly are they doing?
DB will actually kind of pop out alongside you, and he's looking around the corner with you, and he goes, "That's really strange. Are they communicating?" And DB kind of looks up at you as he says this.
I don't know. They look like they are, but
That's
I'm not
really
sure.
weird. I've not seen Vex like this before. They're just standing there.
Okay. Yeah. Let me think. Can I send one of my little drone buddies up and around to get a visual from around? Get around like a 360 around them to see if there's anything else going on.
Yeah, you can do that. So you'll pop out one of your drones. You'll have to kind of maneuver it out a little bit to get around the foliage so you can get above it.
Yeah, I can just kind of fling them out there because they will.
Yep. So yeah, you toss it out there, and it pops out, and it starts to wind up and go upwards.
All right, George, be careful now.
So your drone will go above the tree line here, and you're getting pretty much the same visual perspective. I'll have you roll a perception again with advantage.
Right.
Because you're as you're looking down at this, like it's a bit baffling. Because the Vex that you've encountered were not this docile. You don't really know what's going on. But it feels weird. Something just doesn't feel right. So with this in mind, Elias, did you want to drop in and join the party, or did you want to continue to do a flyby?
I can do one more scan and then I'll drop in.
Okay. So are you scanning the coastline, or are you scanning the forested area?
I'll do the forest this time.
Okay.
Since
So
I've
with
been
that,
really
I will
lost.
reveal the rest of the map for you guys. Because you're going to be getting an overlook of the entire area from here. So, whoops.
Ooh.
And there. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I was like, wait a minute.
You're getting the more overhead view here, and you're not seeing any more Vex in the air other than this group of 6. There does look like there is a bit of a cave entrance kind of off in this direction over here, kind of going underneath the forest. But other than that, this is all you're able to see.
Hmm.
Oh, we can
Should
take
we-
them. We can take them out, but there's looks like some kind of entrance over there.
Do you think I'll be stealthy enough to just go past them?
Good point. You might not make it.
If anything, I could probably just be a lookout.
I'm also gotta think, if the Vex are acting this weird, they could also be not hostile, surprisingly.
I do not trust that.
Well, I mean, if we want to destroy it, we can destroy it, but
I mean, if you want to try
mean-
talking to them, go ahead. But like, I would not be very surprised if they just tried to kill us on sight. You know?
Well, if you want us to try, then I could be the first one, considering I can probably take the most damage.
Yeah, we can hang back and then you can try talking to them. If they start shooting, we will come in for the assist.
And I'm just behind the tree, so I can prep my bow with an explosive arrow too. If they get a little hostile with you.
And hopefully they actually understand me.
Hopefully.
Vex are smart.
Then I guess I'll go ahead and head up front.
All right. So as you actually begin to approach this bridge, the Hydra starts to act slightly erratic. And then it disappears. You're still out of visual range for these remaining 5 Vex that are here, but they're standing there, and you're actually seeing them turn to each other a little bit.
Should that be concerning?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I'm gonna be ready to just pop out with a fucking Nova Warp if things go sideways.
I guess I'll
Hmm.
continue moving up, and I guess like
Just
wave him down.
Yeah.
All right. So you're, I guess, how are you approaching? Are you kind of like hands out, like trying to show you're not hostile? Or are you just like casually approaching?
Probably show that I'm not hostile, if anything.
So kind of like hands out, just like showing no weapons.
Yeah, like I'll have one hand like signaling them like hello, while another hand like showing that I'm not carrying anything. Well, at least I don't have anything in hand.
Mm.
The middle one here sees you and approaches.
Hello there.
He's looking at you inquisitively, like you see his head tilting a little bit as you say hello.
I guess like on cons, what do I actually talk about?
Speaking in binary, you're a robot.
Ask if they're
Speaking
not
binary.
hostile. I don't know, that seems like a good place to start.
Are you guys friendly? Are you guys gonna do something to me?
Are you
No.
okay? Let's see.
Just roll for initiative.
Upon
First.
hearing Theo fuck up, I'm gonna do the exact same thing and come out with my hands up in a sense.
All right, let me put you on the map here. 1 second.
I was gonna say,
Just hiding.
I'll
I haven't
just.
spoken to Vex before, so it's like,
None of
what,
us have.
what do I do in this situation?
say
Welcome
hello.
to
My
So
name
as-
is.
The goblin's looking at you like it's just not understanding.
The goblin's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Elias, so with you being in play here now, did you want to do anything?
I'm just gonna walk up and with my hands out in a little bit and just act friendly in a sense.
I promise I'm a friend.
Okay. Let's see what it does here.
And basically just say we're not here to fight.
It looks at you. It kind of gives you the the up and down look. It looks you over, sizing you up.
Mm.
And then he just turns away and goes back to the group.
Interesting.
Are
Do you
these
think-
successful negotiations?
Do you think they'll be chill?
And there's only one way to find out.
I don't think we should come out. Or we just.
Well, no, just me and Theo come out for now, or stay out for now,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there.
Damn it! I have a question I want you guys to ask, but I can't think of how to word it.
Well, ask it.
It's God. Pretty much just generally. First, the question, the easiest one would be, what are you doing here? But without it sounding like you're judging them, like, what are you doing here kind of thing. It's like,
Here, be here.
but friendly, like, so. And then the next, it'd be another question of, are you looking for someone? Or are you having a problem with someone?
So are you telling Theo and Elias to say
Yeah, because
this?
I'm not out in the open. I'm kind of
Yeah.
relaying it to them like, hey, just ask, are they
Like,
having
yeah,
the same
like-
issues we are kind of thing.
Well, we also know that the Vex fuck with time at this point. Yeah, right?
Yep.
But if somebody else is fucking with time,
It was a Minotaur that walked up to us, yeah?
No, it was a goblin.
I'm gonna walk up to that goblin and kind of touch it on the shoulder, like tap it on the shoulder.
Okay, so you're going to approach the group then?
Yeah.
Because he walked back to rejoin the
w-
group.
Kind of like going around the Hydra that was here, wherever it went.
It's gone.
Oh,
It just straight up left.
okay, then I guess I'm gonna just approach the middle of the group then. And I'm going to ask the ghost to project an image of fucking God Hand.
oh, okay.
Or ask Paradox to.
Okay. So yeah,
That works, yes.
Paradox will pop out floating above your hand, and he projects out this image. That same goblin walks a little closer. You're seeing it tilt its head, and you see its eye begin to scan the image.
And as it's scanning, I just ask it, is this person also causing you guys trouble?
It looks at you for a moment. Kisane, yeah, you can join if you want to. I will I'll bring you into the game here, and you can just.
We'll just say
ju-
you've been with us the entire time, just quiet.
Alright,
Yeah,
so-
we'll bring
Sorry,
you
I
in.
was in the middle of cooking and then I Completely forgot.
No, it's okay. That's why I messaged you because I didn't know if you remembered, so that's why I shot you the message. But you're good.
And Bork will be
So-
right back. So
And this would actually be a good time for you to join too because they're trying to communicate with the Vex.
They're going. What? Okay.
help! We need somebody to talk to them.
So the goblin is looking at you and looking back at the image. It doesn't have the vocal processor to generally be able to communicate, but there is one among you who could communicate with Vex.
I'd say while he's still setting up,
I'm here.
Yep. So I'll kind of bring you into the forefront here since this is kind of a
yeah, just kind of motion Singe up front.
Yeah. So, Singe, the Guardian Mind has been trying to communicate with them.
Okay.
And you're beginning to hear kind of like some computer noises back and forth, like there is some sort of communication.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, the Guardian Mind would like to speak through you if you'll allow it.
Okay. I'll let it.
So the Guardian Mind will take over your voice, and you'll hear Singe say, "They are searching for him, and they believe they found him."
All right. Above
They-
game. Who is him? And because since
God
I've
hand.
been like.
They're
Godhand.
referring to Godhand because
Oh.
Elias projected an image of Godhand before this goblin, and he scanned it for a moment, and he's looking back at Elias, and you're getting this communication through the goblin that yes, that is what they are looking for.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Um,
Continue.
I'm
So-
gonna look at Singe to like the goblin understands me, yeah. I'm gonna ask him
That-
if the goblin understands me, like speaking in English or common.
They're able to detect your auditory noises and be able to process them.
Okay. I'm basically just gonna look at the goblin and go, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I propose a temporary truce to kill this individual.
Truce. Yes. Truce may be required. So,
'Cause-
and
Will I
I'm
be
just
able
gonna.
to connect? Okay. Since. Okay. So let's say we already made the truce, right? Kinda.
we
You're in the
technically-
process of making that. Like
Okay,
you're.
So
this
let's
is.
say we do. So let's say we're like at the end of the process. Sorry, I'm just trying to understand. Is it possible to connect my Vex mind to the rest of the Vex network?
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I
Because
feel like that you
all it
wouldn't.
would take is a superior mind to just no longer.
That is true. However, I kinda want to receive the information. What do you call it?
I mean, but if you do that, you probably won't be yourself anymore.
Yeah,
It's the
that is
thing.
the issue.
You are now dead.
Basically,
All right, continue.
So the Guardian Mind will say that they are assembling. They know where he is. They're preparing.
They're already prepared. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay. Um. So y'all want to get prepared to face them as well? I guess
I was gonna say you're still taking over. You ain't talking.
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean.
I mean, you could ask this to the Guardian Mind himself because you're still there. You're just kind of like stepped aside for
Yeah.
the Guardian
I just
Mind.
lost. I just like gave him control. Yeah.
are Eros and I still in hiding or no?
I am. I
Up
haven't
to you.
stepped out.
Are you guys still
Yeah,
in
no,
hiding, or do you
I'm
want
gonna
to step
stay
out?
hidden.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
still
stay
hidden.
until I feel like it'd be a good idea. Let's
Yeah,
say
'cause
hidden until I feel like it's a good
Wait,
idea.
Vexmine, do you detect
plus I
any
still
hostile
have George
intelligence
hanging
from
out
them?
up above, so watching.
The Guardian Mind will say this to you, Cinch. These Vex are non-hostile. They are targeting Godhand. They know where he is, and the Vex are planning a massive offensive against his fortress.
Damn, you know where he is.
Mm, I know where
Um,
you are. Trying to request your location. Anyways,
um, I'm going to ask the Vex. How many technically are in our group? 6.
At the moment 5, because Remy stayed back
Well,
with
yeah,
Julius.
I'm including Remy in total.
Yeah, I mean, in
Ooh, this
total, yeah,
shit's
that'd be
spicy.
6. But yeah, Remy stayed back with Julius.
Oh,
So she's not with you guys right now.
No, hold on. I gotta address that. Just the out of nowhere. Shit's spicy.
Sorry, I made like the
Spicy,
sauce spicy, and I love
spicy.
spicy, so it's like
Okay,
so good. Okay,
but
continue. Sorry.
I'm going to ask the Vex. There's 6 Guardians basically here that can help in this assault. But would it be wise to bring more to help?
I don't think they would like that.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're hearing through the Guardian Mind the message
You
of the
know.
Goblin.
Not an entire like hundreds. I'm talking just maybe double our amount.
It's like a couple goblins. It's cannon fodder.
Well, no, I'm talking about bringing some extra support because we're going against Godhand here.
Yeah.
It's kind of tilting its head in thought a little bit. Cooperation would be beneficial to both. However, it may not be possible to bring everyone to this time.
Yeah, it's already a huge obstacle getting just the 5 of us in.
But what about 9 total? Even just an extra fire team would help.
Hmm.
This may be possible. However, traversing through the corridors of time, some may become lost.
Mm,
Then we'll just have to find them again.
Not as easy as you think.
Is it not?
So the less numbers, the more likely, or the less likely we'll be lost.
Wait, we have a radio, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to work in a time field.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that I could technically speak through the radio, while the Vex speaks through my physical form.
We already know.
I mean,
Just
you
saying
you would just
possible.
you wouldn't be able to communicate in that way. You just have to take back control and just you can kind of go back and forth if you want to.
That can't be healthy.
But yeah, you can't necessarily communicate like through one way and then have the Guardian Minds doing it that way. It's either one or
Man
the other.
literally has 3 personalities.
Why can't I? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna be that guy. Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
But Mom!
Because your
Alright,
mind is
I'll
not
just
connected to
get-
the radio.
Yeah, but because I have the Vex mind, I can still understand the Vex, even if it's just me, alright, talking, and they can understand.
Yeah,
me.
the Guardian Mind can act as like a translator for you, and you can relay what you hear back from these Vex.
Alright, let's do that then. Like, there's no point then. I can
Yeah,
just
so
relay
so
it
I'll
to
I'll just say for brevity then you will end up relaying this to them that they know where he is and it's at a very fixed point at the end of time.
Hmm.
Which even to you sounds impossible because there is no end to time.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Exactly.
say now there is.
Oh my
Then
god.
again, if it's God hand, it is possible.
We are gathering forces from all across the system and beyond. We are planning a massive offensive.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
All right, so because the best thing we can do is just get ourselves prepared and try to see if we can meet up somewhere.
Yeah.
The goblin recognizes Singe with the guardian mind, and you are given a set of temporal coordinates, and you know how to navigate there through the corridors of time.
That is so weird. Okay. All right.
Fun.
All right. All right. We'll be on our way then. I just walk away. No point staying with them any further.
The goblin will turn back to the rest of the group, and as this happens, all 5 of them will teleport out.
Where are y'all?
Earls
I'm
and I are
right
still
next to you.
hidden.
Yeah, these guys
Yeah.
I'm
are
in the
they're staying
trees.
hidden.
Caca,
But,
caca.
We
So
should
I'm like,
probably
where
come
are y'all?
out,
Come
right?
out. Yeah, you guys can come out now.
I mean,
There's no Vex presence here anymore.
Screw you, I'm standing in the trees.
We heard the entire exchange, by the way, right?
yeah.
Yep, you guys were listening in.
Alright, cool. So we are aware. I feel like okay. I guess now is a good time to just pop out.
You would have probably heard it through me, if anything.
Stop hiding
Yeah.
in the ground. I see you. I'm just kidding.
No,
We're in the trenches.
can't
The
see me.
trenches.
I'm behind the tree, hiding. Now I'm sitting down, relaxing. No.
130 above. Get down.
Caca.
Okay. All right. So,
Well,
Okay.
anyways, what do y'all think about that? You guys heard the conversation through the radio, right?
I mean,
not?
I'm hesitant to trust the Vex.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend again.
All right.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't
But
trust
by
the
all
Vex
accounts,
either.
they aren't exactly the best at staying loyal to allies.
But I mean, you're not going to get any other better ally to go with us at the moment.
I guess.
All right. So
And
here's
plus,
the thing.
they're the ones that gave us the information.
Here's what's
They
gonna
want him
happen.
dead as much as we do.
The thing is that we need their help, and they need our help as well because they are trying to face God Hand, and we are trying to face God Hand as well.
There we go.
So apparently, you know the Vex's objectives. We know what the Vex objective is. Their overall objective is to protect their species and to literally eliminate any threats. So, God Hand is a threat. Apparently, an even more bigger threat than us. So, the best thing we can do is team up with them. However, after we defeat God Hand, we should have a plan of escape, possibly.
case,
So,
we-
if possible, whoever's like the most agile or the best out of us, like, can secure a safe location within wherever we are going. Like, scout the area. You know what I mean?
That's sound logic. I agree.
Like,
Definitely
scout the area because we're able to go through the corridors of time. Of course, they're able to follow us, but we're able to like at least make the fight a bit more manageable if the Vex end up turning on us after we defeat Godhand, or if Godhand somehow, because we also have to consider the fact that Godhand can possibly get control of the Vex. So we have to keep that in mind.
Definitely just
that's not a scary thought at all.
I mean, it wouldn't be the most like terrifying thing God Hand has ever done. To be honest.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
but still, the Vex numbers are pretty high, and we don't know
Yeah,
how many high level Vex will be there.
Well, I mean, you were told that they're planning a massive offensive, and
But-
you could imagine if he's talking about gathering forces from across the system and beyond. it's going to
I
be
mean,
a very massive army that they're gathering for an
Something we
offensive.
should keep in mind is that the Vex, like as a whole, aren't homogenous. There are different factions, so we don't know if we don't know if potentially
You don't know if you don't know if he
Godhand
got
is
like
walking
all
into
the
this with a
Vex
Vex.
like
We don't know if he's walking into this with a Vex army of his own, either from another timeline or one from ours that just decided to team up with him.
What we do know is that with God Hand there, anything is possible. So we have to keep everything in mind and not be surprised, expecting and expecting basically. Because if we're shocked or anything like that, we won't be able to react properly.
Definitely, definitely.
We need to each remember our roles, and even if one of us are in danger, we have to somehow, go through with our roles. Otherwise, it can just interrupt the flow.
Remember our roles? I mean, look at me. You know what I do.
No, what do you do? I totally can't tell.
I can answer it with one hand.
Crayons.
Yeah, yeah.
He consumes crayon.
And steps on Legos like a true man.
Hio,
Yeah, the master of Legos and crayons.
champion of the Crucible, consumer
Yeah.
of crayons.
Achievement unlocked. Stepper of crayons. Wait, stepper of
Stepper of
Legos, not crayons.
crayons.
Emperor of Legos, eater of crayons.
Stepper of Legos, yeah, eater of crayons. Xbox achievement. Shit, I checked on my water. Okay.
But yeah, working with the
Whenever you are
Vex.
ready, we can head back to where. these
Yep,
people
so
are waiting for us.
at this point, if you guys want to, you can return to the Ishtar Academy and check on Malachi and maybe even speak with Julius with this new information and see what you guys want to do next.
You guys down?
I mean, yeah, but we'll have to inform them.
You have no choice.
All right. So you guys are making your way back to the academy, and you come into the clearing, and you're approaching the massive courtyard. It's starting to turn a little bit nighttime now. The sun's starting to set off to the horizon. So it's starting to turn night. You guys do get back to the administrative building that Malachi's being nursed in. And as you guys, you start getting back up to where he's at, you hear... You're starting to hear, like, clashing.
That's Julius and Remy
Cabal
fighting.
drums. Cabal stopped playing.
And as you guys are approaching closer, that sound is getting louder. And just as you guys start to kind of
Light
turn the
dark.
corner to get a proper view of what's happening,
We know it's Julius and Remy fighting. Why are you doing light and dark?
For no reason.
Emergency.
Light and dark.
I mean, if you're doing Detect Light and Dark, I'll give you a little bit of info.
Okay, detect light and dark day.
So, all right, so you've met Remy, you can feel her light. But as you look at Julius, you're feeling some light from him too. It's not as strong as a guardian, but he's
there's
eminent.
something.
He's got. As you look at him, he kind of has a bit of an aura to him.
Wait, who's Julius?
Julius is Malachi's bodyguard.
Every human has traces of the light.
And why is she fighting Julius?
So I'll just kind of recap because you didn't hear this. So at the end of last session, Remy wanted to try and learn how to control the Celestial Rage, and Julius offered to help her with this. So they stayed back to do some training while you guys went off to do some scouting in the area. And you're kind of witnessing at the moment this training that's happening. And as you guys kind of turn this corner, you hear a loud just smash, and
Oh god.
you
That
see
hurt like a body hitting concrete.
yeah, and you see Remy drop to her knees and holding her gut.
We should probably go see if she's okay. Yeah.
Julius, I think that's enough.
I'm gonna go check on Remy, make sure she's good.
Bring
She's
her over here. I'm the healer. Bring her over here.
her hands are her arms are kind of shaking, trying to hold herself up. Just, son of a bitch. She looks up at Julius and just, who are you?
Do we all see this happen?
Yeah, you guys have all walked into the room seeing this, and he's just kind of standing there, like he stepped back a little bit and putting a little distance, but
Theo, I
he's
need
just
you to
kind of.
tank. I need you to tank just in case. I don't know if Julius is in what do you call it? In his right mental state.
Oh, he's calm. He's
Julius is
Julius.
standing.
Julius is big chilling.
Yeah.
Well,
Julius
then
Yeah.
why is Remy saying, "Who are you"? That's fucking.
So
You
l-
met Julius.
I know.
Julius is as you can see, Julius is crazy good in a fight. He's holding his own with a guardian from the future. That's not a thing normal people can do.
Julius is not
So-
normal.
so,
you like
just-
he's an
hey,
imposter.
just-
This is a who are you like
So,
what the
guys.
fuck, how do you do this?
I'm just sitting there watching all this,
So
going,
is this Remy from the
"Damn."
past?
No.
Remy is-
No.
No, this is our Remy. It's just that
Okay.
our Remy is from the future.
Julius is
Oh,
training
Julius from
her.
the past. Oh,
Julius is
the fuck?
Okay,
Okay.
Here's the moment.
Then why is she saying, "Who are you"? Go ahead.
So
Because
let
it's
it
like-
happen. Let it happen.
Sorry.
It's like you just
I'm
got
just sitting
your ass
back and
beat by a
watch.
random person you thought was a human. Wouldn't you go, "Who the fuck are you?" if you were a guardian?
So
No, I was like,
Julius,
"GG's."
like I said, so Julius is taking a step back and he's standing and he's in a calm position. He's not showing any form of aggression. He stepped back and he's calm. And he's looking down at Remy and he says, "I'm just a human." Remy scoffs at this and she punches the ground. She immediately stands up. She's like, "That's bullshit."
As she does, I just call out from the other side of the room, "You got knocked the fuck out!"
Spec Julius. I need to see his
Thank you.
stats.
Not in any. You
I
are
wanna
not
see his
helping the
stats.
situation, Elias.
Remy's OP. That's not possible. Who's Julius?
Yeah.
Can I use that?
So
I'm just sitting there
As
and nod, and Julius like, "Go for it." Yeah, No, I'm not doing shit.
Remy like
Tough.
Remy calls out and says, "That's bullshit. I've fought many people and I've encountered many humans in my time. I've never encountered someone who can do this to someone
Fine.
like me." And Julius kind of like looks down a little bit in thought, and he's kind of contemplating if he wants to share this information.
Do it.
With the class.
He's just unique.
He just kind of shrugs a little bit and just says, "I was born this way."
Built different, as I have said.
Boom, boom, boom.
Remy kind of straightens herself out a little bit, and she'll get a little healing wave from her ghost, and she's kind of back to normal again. She's fully healed. She approaches Julius. "Your fighting technique, that's not something I've seen anyone around here do. You fight with your fists, and you're stronger than more people I've met. That..." She shakes her head. "That's not possible."
Oh, but it is.
Oh, what you see.
All right.
Julius kind of looks down, and he will tell her, "You're too in tune with your emotions. You lead your charge with your fury. And that is why you're failing. If you want to control that seal, you want to control the magic within, it takes more than your emotions. It takes focus. It takes commitment. If you expect to beat God Hand, you need this. You need the focus. And you're not there yet. And he turns and starts to walk over to the bar.
Interesting.
Remy will kind of turn to you guys and she's kind of holding her rib a little bit. Like, it still kind of stings. Just, you saw that, huh?
No,
I mean, I've experienced it.
No, I didn't see anything. I don't know what you're
We
talking
saw that. You all right? You okay?
Okay,
I
I'm
just
gonna walk
grin
up
and
to
walk
her.
fine.
by.
Just
Alright.
maybe a little bit of a bruised ego.
Yeah, it looks like it left you with a little bit more than a bruise. I walk up to her and I'm using medical toolkit.
Oh, I'll just go ahead and say you don't need to do that because she was fully healed by her ghost.
Yeah, it's just-
She's
Well
just
then,
feeling
okay,
it.
there was no point in doing
Yeah, no, she's just still sort of feeling it because there's some residual feeling coming from those blows that she endured.
Oh my God,
Can I
that's
do
so-
something about that?
With a 13, I'd say you can give her a little bit of pain medicine, I guess.
Hey, yo, that doesn't count. That was for before.
Well, no, I'm saying for the little stinging feeling she's currently having, you can give her something for it.
That burning you feel? That's a
Okay.
shame.
Then I'm gonna do that. I'll do that.
Okay, so you
Dark.
kind of give her a little something to alleviate the pain. She just pops it and just takes a deep breath and stretches her back a little bit and just. Well, sadly, he is right, though.
This means that you have room for improvement. More room to grow means you're able to grow more powerful. It's always a good thing. Because
She
the worst
just.
thing that could happen to you is literally reaching a standstill and not being able to grow. So the fact that you can grow just shows how much potential you have.
And Julius kind of walks over from the bar and he is setting down some cups for drinks. And he looks over to Remy and goes, "He's absolutely right. There's a lot of room for improvement." And he's starting to pour a cup of liquor for everyone. He's pouring 6 cups.
Yes, alcohol. Lovely.
This is going to take time, but if you plan on beating him,
Alcohol.
the only way you can get past your rage, is if you're focused on a single point.
There's 2 things men are weak to: alcohol and women.
Please never say that again.
So at this point,
Killed.
Julius, as he's poured 6 glasses,
Oh my God.
and he sets one in front of Remy, and he starts setting a line of glasses up for the rest of you.
Are these like shot glasses? Are these like
These are whiskey glasses.
Okay, cool. I'm just making.
Yeah.
Down the hatch.
Hey.
I just tell Julius, by the way, you're not gonna believe the shit that we found.
Yeah.
How about a truce
Yeah.
with the Vex? I say that as he's pouring a drink too, just to see what he does.
He doesn't stop. He finishes pouring and then he starts to screw the cap back on and he sets the bottle back up onto the bar and turns back to you. Goes, "I don't know what that is.
You don't know what the Vex is? You know, the robot?
I've seen them, but that's all I've done. I don't know what they are or what they do.
I feel like at
Okay.
this point,
That's-
you should know that nothing phases Julius.
I mean, yeah, fair.
Oh,
Stone cold.
I wonder how Malachi would feel about this.
About the Vex?
Well, yeah. Considering, we've been at each other's throats for who knows how long.
I'm hoping he'll be ready by morning to at least talk. He's still resting. For now, maybe you all should do the same as well. There are plenty of comfortable beds in the facility. You can choose whichever one you want.
I'm kind of exhausted from talking to the zip packs. I'm gonna head in first.
Yep. So you've got pretty much the entire floor of this building here to yourself. So as you kind of look around, there are bedrooms of varying sizes, beds of varying sizes as well. So what would you be going for?
I don't know. My height isn't that tall, so I was like, well, twin bed, I guess. It's just
Okay.
regular height.
And do you look for a room with a view?
Yes, I guess it would be better to do that.
Okay. So you're kind of going north in the building here, and you pass by a couple of rooms. They look like they're all pretty comfortable rooms. They do have beds that are fully made, and they look like someone has kind of come through and set all of this up here. You can assume from this that Malachi's team probably have set all of this up here as kind of a mini base of operations. So you're kind of walking down the hall a little bit, and you do come across the fifth door on your right, and you're looking out, and this is a bit of a corner room here because there's two windows. You're gonna have the window that's gonna face on the northeast side and the northwest side, and from this view, you're actually able to see kind of a little bit of that coastline that starts to lead out to the methane lake.
Okay.
All right, so you guys settled in for the night. The rest of you, is there any particular room or amenity you're looking for in a room?
I just need a bed that's sturdy.
As long as
He means a brick.
I would prefer
Yeah,
the story. These dudes are not the best, really, anymore.
That's
all
all
right,
I.
so Theo's probably taking the biggest bet, I'm assuming then.
Yeah,
Is it sturdy? Can it hold me?
Get sturdy with.
So you walk into this room, and there's a fairly large it's a king size bed. You're looking at the frame, and you're kind of like testing it just to see like its strength, just like would this hold? And you're testing the strength of the wood, and it's like, this is solid.
Would this hold my fat ass?
Is this mahogany?
It might be mahogany. You're tapping on the wood, and you're just noticing how solid it feels. Like it's like a thick wood. It should support your frame.
Test out.
So you lay down into the bed, and you kind of sink in a little bit, maybe more than a little bit, but you lay in there, and it's somewhat comfortable. You can work with this.
So who's all still awake at the moment?
I'm still awake. I'm just testing out the bed.
Well, you're
Pretending
off
to
on your own
sleep.
shit at the moment.
Yeah,
None of us are bunching.
you're off like getting ready to go to bed, but you're playing around on the bed testing it out.
I'm pretending to sleep. I don't like to sleep last. I just like to rest. That's
So it's me, Eros, and
Ash, yeah.
Ash.
And Remy and Julius are still there.
I mean, okay, well, I'd like to just at least find one full-size bed, room
Well,
alone, so...
Before you go, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and contact the Vanguard and just like be like, "Hey,
Know about the Vex?
We have a temporary truce with the Vex because we're going to kill Godhand with their assistance, and if we don't return, we're somewhere lost in the future at the end of time.
Goodbye.
Have a nice trip.
So are you just like general communicating that, or are you setting
Well,
that to
no,
anyone in
I'm
particular?
telling the group here what I'm gonna tell them.
Oh, okay. I thought you're that was what you're doing for communicating. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
good
just doing
idea.
that in a general conversation. But
Okay.
yeah,
Oh no. Probably shouldn't let them send anybody else though.
yeah, no, I'm not telling them where we are.
Where they
And
are.
it would be best not to
I
tell
do-
them where we're going as well.
I do
Yeah.
not trust outside guardians to not take shots at the Vex.
Well, unless it's our specific other fire team that we like because we make fun of them.
Well, yeah, no, them it's fine. But like, if we want them, we can contact them directly. We don't have to go through the Vanguard for that.
Yeah.
But like, we definitely don't want the Vanguard to send a group to come back us up, only to have them shoot at our allies and start another fight.
I mean, I could contact them and be like, hey, do y'all want to kind of help defend the
if you
entrance
wanna
to where
bring-
we're going?
If you want to bring them, I
Well,
would
that's-
not be opposed. 'Cause it's
Or
like-
we could also just contact them to have them bring us certain supplies from the city that we kind of need.
Yeah, because the Vex did say that it's somewhat limited because it could cause, time stuff, which would probably be very hard to undo.
Actually, also, I need to fucking have somebody check in with a fucking Banshee to see if my fucking order's ready. For another one of those fucking sniper rifles.
All right. So I guess my question to you then is, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
First, I'm gonna contact our favorite other fire team that we get along with. For some
Can you
reason,
tell-
his name keeps fucking escaping me.
I was just gonna ask you, can you remember their names?
Fucking all their names have escaped me. I have them written down somewhere, but I don't remember them off the top of my head.
It's Ross, Juno, and Noble 5.
I remember Noble because I had him throw a fucking desk out a window. So I guess I'm gonna go onto the roof because that's gonna be the clearest connection to the night sky.
All right. So of the three, I'm assuming you're calling Ross because you know him the best.
Yeah, and Noble isn't very talkative,
No, he's not.
and Juno is probably already with Ross. I'm gonna call it.
All right.
I've
So
shipped them since day one.
so
I like
you put out a communication and you're trying to reach out to Ross. It takes a few minutes, just given the distance between Venus and Earth, but you do eventually see Ross come up on your VidCon. Elias?
Howdy.
By the Traveler, where the hell have you been?
Yeah, it's a longer story than I'd like to admit. Let's just say I've been to a different time. I just want to watch his reaction. Just see if he believes me or not.
His face kind of like scrunches up a bit, just kind of like, huh? Never mind. There's we've got a serious problem, and you yourself may have another problem.
What's going on in the city?
Look, I don't think it was you. I really don't think you did this, but the Vanguard's looking for you. And I'm gonna be upfront with you, man. It's not good.
What?
When's the last time you contacted Nikon?
A while. Mainly because we've literally been fighting through time. Like, when I say that, that's not a joke.
I understand what you mean, but And you see, like, he's visibly frustrated in his faces. Nikon's dead.
What?
He was found in his office. His ghost was crushed. And they're looking for you because whoever attacked him was wearing your robes. But he had some sort of crown on his head. It was... I don't know. I've only got a glimpse of what happened in the security feed, but they're looking for you and they want to ask some questions.
Well,
Things are turning here, and like I said, I don't believe you would be the guy that would do this. But I need to hear it from you. Do you know what happened to him? Do you know
I
anything
do.
at all?
I
What?
I do, and you're not gonna like that answer.
You see him, he starts to kind of, the background behind him is moving, and he looks like he's going for a more private location. All right. What's going on?
Do I have any of the footage that they had while in the castle?
No. For you would only have anything that would have come at the end when you were eventually freed. You and your ghost have no memory between the time that you were abducted and the time you were saved. It's just a gap.
You'd have
Um,
witnesses.
I mean, could I go find one of the others and possibly get them to come up there and show them?
Yeah, I mean, if
the
you want to
footage?
wave one of the guys over to come, well, I mean, well, you're up at the roof, so you'd have to go
Yeah,
downstairs to go
I'm
find
gonna go
someone.
grab Uros because Ross knows Uros.
Yeah, you guys know each other, so
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell him to wait a minute because this is gonna be very difficult to explain.
all right.
So,
So you go find Uros and you kind of like wave him over, and you bring him onto the call with Ross. And Uros will see, or excuse me, Ross will see Uros and he'll just kind of nod on the screen, just Uros.
Ross?
So tell me, guys, what is happening?
first,
They-
let's catch Uros up to speed of what's happening in the city.
What is happening?
Nikon Lee is dead.
Come again? I thought you just said he was dead. Okay, never mind. Let's get past that. He's dead. How? Who?
He was found in his office with his ghost crushed.
All right.
What we know here is that the person who did this was wearing Elias's robes, but he had on a strange crown.
And I'm just looking at Uros as he says that.
It showed up in our security feeds. He snapped in. He just killed Nikon right there, and as his ghost came out to revive him, snatched him up and crushed him, and disappeared just as quick.
now I have
The
possible
entire
video?
city is on alert, and they are looking for anyone who knows anything. And the fact that Elias's robes are pointing it to him, they are asking a lot of questions, and they want him in.
That's not going to be really possible right now. But now, do I have video of that fight? Or at least
No, he's describing this. He hasn't
No,
shown.
not that fight. Our fight with
He's-
Elias.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if you wanted to display, yeah, that fight that you guys had, that yeah, you can show that to him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send him some of the video. Did he look like this?
You see his eyes widen a little bit and nod.
That
Yeah,
I
was
just
uh,
I
That's
just
him.
look into the camera and I just point at the figure and then point at me.
the. It was
That is me.
Yes, that is Elias. The crown was he was under control of it. We had to fight him to break him free of it.
Because the last thing I remember is that I was in the city talking to everybody in the bar, and then suddenly I'm in a castle, like a medieval castle, being beaten the shit out of, honestly.
Yes, and his ghost was locked down, so even his ghost doesn't even know what's going on during all that.
Paradox will kind of chime in. He goes, Ross, I'm so sorry. I don't know anything any more than they do.
We even found one of our benefactors locked up in the castle, nearly dead, too.
So you're telling me you were under some sort of mind control?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was. It wasn't. This makes it worse.
Yeah, unfortunately it does, because
They're not going to believe that.
exactly.
Even with the evidence we all have, we had to fight Elias to save him. We saved our benefactor, which
That may be, and yeah, that evidence may help support this, but they're sending out parties searching for you. And I think you know the kind that I'm talking about, Eros and Elias.
I just look at
Well,
Elias.
then it's an interesting point that I've contacted you, because this might possibly be the last time that you and I talk.
Why?
We're, you know, the Vex.
Sure, we've been encountering them a lot lately. Except, well, I guess not. Oh, I guess very recently.
Have you thought
They
of the
just
reason why?
he just kind of shrugs, just no idea. We have a lot on our plate, unfortunately, and the Vex are, I hate to say it, maybe the least of our concerns.
You just said that a species that can cross the literary time and space with ease is the least of your concern.
Wait, wait,
But
wait,
no,
wait, wait. Those machines?
yeah, they're actually probably the scariest of the bunch.
Yes, they can do this. We've all seen it. Our ghosts have seen it. We've done it.
I was more referring to this, and you see his camera view start to um come back outside, and you see he will turn the view to the traveler. So the traveler, for you, the last time you guys were in the last city and you seen it, you noticed that there were broken pieces of the traveler that are just kind of floating around the sphere. But now, as you look at the traveler, something is different. The pieces that were kind of floating about are no longer just kind of moving around the sphere. They're at a dead stop. You know how the pieces of the traveler we would watch kind of float around it? It's like it's frozen in place. People are starting to feel different. No one really knows what's going on, but it's let's just say there's a lot of commotion happening within the Guardian Order, and it's making a lot of people very uneasy. And the fact that we just literally had a murder of one of our higher warlock leaders, well, things are starting to turn somewhat drastic.
Well, then everything that I'm about to say, you can technically pass it on. I cannot tell you where we are at the moment, but once I'm back, I'll turn myself in, and that's if I survive it.
We're just saying at this point I'm asleep.
Yep, you're sleeping.
Yeah.
But
Elias, is there anything I can get you that can help you?
I have a commission with Banshee to make a new sniper rifle. And if you honestly want to hear everything I have to say in person, because it will probably be more believable in person. Because what if I told you there was a Vex Guardian?
What?
Yeah. And we also kind of have a truce with the Vex to kill God Hand.
Well, it seems that speedy old bastard is causing a lot more than just these problems, too.
Yeah. And the Vex are. The reason why y'all haven't been having to deal with the Vex is because they are pulling units from all over the solar system to kill him. And we're basically going with them to kill him.
um,
Yeah, it sounds very unbelievable, doesn't it?
I've never heard of anything like it.
I'm just gonna literally show him the fucking meeting between me and the goblin. And then it talking through Singe.
He's kind of watching this, and like his face, it's becoming hard to read. Like you don't know how he's feeling or thinking as he's watching this, and he'll just kind of turn back to you on the comm. Look, I trust you. We have been through a lot together, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, and I will get you that sniper rifle from Banshee and get it sent to you. But I can't promise that they're not going to try and track it and follow it to you.
Oh, that's why, let's say, meet up in a neutral space and then we separate after that.
Where do you want to meet?
Probably the moon, because it won't be on Earth and it can't be where I am currently.
Well, the moon is still off limits to normal guardians, so not many people are going to be going there themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me 24 hours to get everything together. I'll meet you there.
All right.
Elias, good luck.
Yeah, thanks. You're gonna need it.
And the comms will cut. So at this point, do you want to go to bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some sleep.
All right. So we'll go ahead and just say for everyone here, everyone does go down for a long rest. So if you had any, I know some of you have charges or anything. So if you had any expended charges, they're all restored to you. Your health and shield's already at full, but anything was spent, it is restored.
By the way, did we ever look into getting me having my rift? If that's a thing for my fucking class.
Rift?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can
I
do it.
do not believe it was a thing.
Hmm.
I mean, it's been a long time since I think we've even asked that question, so I genuinely don't remember. But if I just kind of looking that up, I don't think you did.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's no listed like rift abilities in the book.
Aren't there?
There's a
So,
Rift of Light.
but isn't
Yeah.
that for a certain subclass?
No, I'm pretty sure
It would-
it's just a thing.
I'm pretty sure it's just for Warlocks.
Yeah, no, Rift of Light is super class ability that
Yeah.
Warlocks have.
Yeah, same as how the Hunters has their Hunter Dodge and the Titans have the Barricade.
Yeah, but it's a super ability, so he
No,
he
it's
wouldn't
not
have
super
that.
ability.
No.
It's
no.
a it's a class
just
ability.
class ability. Yeah, no. So like all Warlocks can Rift, all Hunters can Dodge, all Titans can.
Yeah, so that's probably something that we
Barricade,
need to add
regardless
to
of
my
subclass.
class next time.
It's in the book. It's literally just like
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, because
for the-
I'm
for Rift of
trying to
Light.
find it, but I'm genuinely not seeing where this is.
It's
page
I just went to the
16.
super class stuff
Yeah,
and then
you
just
put
went a bit
super
down.
class ability, and you can see all of them.
Oh, okay, that there. Yeah, because I'm looking under the actual class ability, so.
Yeah, it's not in the
Yeah.
class ability. It will be in the super class ability.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into this a little more, and if I get everything in here, yeah, I'll get that added up for you.
Yeah, it'll just be something useful to have next time.
Yep. So yeah, we'll look into that. I'm just gonna make a note of that really quick here, so I remember that. Okay. All right, so you guys go down for a nice long rest. Everyone's resting comfortably in their various beds. And as the sun begins to rise and the light begins to kind of shine through the room, you're all awakened by the sunlight.
Sun.
So who would get up first?
Fucking Minecraft
Let's
zombie.
just
what?
I'm
do
staying
a.
in bed, man. I'm staying in bed.
I'd say let's just do a D20 roll, and whoever has the highest gets it.
Whoever has
And
the
get-
highest is made to wake up early.
Exos have
you guys
advantage.
do. I'm staying, bro.
And it doesn't
Nah,
matter.
You better roll, bro.
Exos have an advantage since they can.
I want to get a.
You
How
just
about
have an
this? Screw the.
internal alarm
I'll
clock.
fix it.
I'm apparently waking up last or first. Either one, it doesn't matter.
You are in a coma.
I was gonna
I
say.
am in a coma.
I was gonna
Well,
say.
actually, if you think about it, that would actually make sense because I'm the one that has gone the longest without sleep.
That is a good point.
Yep.
Roll.
So yeah. How about the rest of you?
Oh, final roll for it. I was gonna say I'll get out first because I wanted to work on one of my drones. There's a little
Nope, you're
workshop.
going on next
Yeah.
to me. Come on, Singe, roll.
Send roll. I want him to get a 20. If he gets a 20, it'll be fucking hilarious.
He's bright.
Roll.
We'll
Ugh.
never.
Come on, roll.
Roll
We're all
20.
doing it.
Roll 20s.
Why do I have a fucking
wait,
dice
wait a-
roller that just says fudge?
I
'Cause
don't know.
yes.
I noticed that too.
Huh?
I'm guessing that's like if you're trying to fudge your numbers. I don't know.
Oh, that is
Let's
new.
see.
I've never really used it, so
Rolling
I don't know.
DF 0.
Oh, wait.
Let me
No?
go ahead and
Yeah, like I don't know what that is, but all right.
close
So, Theo,
I'll look it up.
you're gonna be the one who gets up first. You get your full rest in. You're feeling pretty good. And as you're walking out to the main area, you do see Remy's already awake and she's sitting up at the bar. And she's got a little plate of food in front of her and she's just kind of eating a little bit and she looks over to you. Morning, Theo.
On.
Did you sleep well?
Definitely better than my bed. I'm definitely gonna need to ask for a replacement.
Well, I'm sure you can find one. Eventually. I mean, it's just you gotta find one for your size because you're so big.
Eh. And how
I
about you then?
Oh. Okay.
She's looking a little conflicted. She kind of sets the fork down. I am. I'm a little sorry that you had to kind of see me like that yesterday.
No, it
I
happens to the best of us.
I know, but
If anything, you should have seen me in my old days.
what was it like for you in your old days?
Well, just like you, I exactly couldn't hold in my emotions that well. And let's just say it kind of left with some combat that wasn't part of the field.
She kind of tilts her head and just kind of her eyes kind of squint a little bit, just like, hmm. What do you mean?
I was a bit of a hothead, to put it simply.
You seem like the most calm of the bunch.
Well, yeah, that's mainly because of having to, well, having the whole s- identity issue. So,
He's competitive.
Ah. She just kind of nods. Just okay. I think I get you now.
Real quick, just to jump in, I just want to go ahead and say nobody else knows Nikon is dead other than me and Eros.
yeah.
Yep.
Probably share that.
That's not been revealed yet to the rest of the
Mm-mm.
group.
Yeah. So.
Well, we're not down there yet,
Just
are we?
out of game,
Oh, I know.
who was Nikon
Yeah.
again? I know he was in the Vanguard, but who was
So-
He was my Vanguard leader.
So Warlock Vanguard? Or...
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I just didn't know which one he was.
He's also
No,
the
no,
one
yep.
that taught me hand-to-hand combat.
Ah, I see.
And fun fact, he also
Lost.
taught Julius too.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, Nikon is a fucking.
Nikon was he was a badass.
Damn, that guy really did. Anyway.
And so just can't contain that conversation. So Remnant just goes, so
Mm.
how did you get past it? Get past that anger and
Well, after hiding my face for who knows how long, I more or less just thought of it as an opportunity. If I lost to someone, then they were better than me. So I had to train to get better than them. And if it didn't work, then I do it again. And if it doesn't work again, then I do it again. And keep up the process until I do win. It's better to think of every combat as a opportunity to improve, to notice your faults, to then improve upon them. So with you being emotional, try putting it as, instead of it being of anger, think of it as pushing forward to improve.
she's nodding as you say this, and she looks back to you. I need to know how to control this seal. Because if I can, maybe, just maybe, I can turn the tide. But at the same time,
Ooh.
I'm scared because I don't want to hurt any of you. And I'm scared that if this energy absorption discussion that's in the book leads to something drastic to any of you, She starts shaking her head. I can't bear that.
Well, considering that whole seal thing isn't exactly in my forte, but with the name at least, there might be some works around since it has rage in the name. It doesn't have to be a specific type of rage, as there are different ways you can interpret it. So think of it as a rage of heroism instead of a rage of, well, being upset. Try making the rage into something that is impervious to wanting to let loose.
Hmm. Well,
It's a bit hard on actually trying to explain that.
she kind of tilts her head. Well, I think Julius is at least partially right. If I want to get past it, I need to focus on a single point, a single thing that I'm aiming for. And I think that's the way to go. I just need to know how to focus myself in the middle of a storm. She's kind of nodding and she kind of pushes the plate a little bit as she's already finished the meal and just like, I'm going to keep working with Julius for now. If you guys need me or anything, we'll be outside in the courtyard.
Oh, if there is one tip I could give,
Mhm.
usually against usually against humans in some cases for me, it's better to go for the pit of the stomach. It sometimes works.
Yeah, and you see her just kind of reach down, just kind of hold her stomach. Yeah, I kind of learned that the hard way yesterday.
Now, get to improving.
She just kind of stops and just a thought just kind of pops into her mind. What do you know about Julius anyway? Have you? Well, I'm just assuming you guys have met him before, obviously, with working with Malachi. But do you
Yeah.
know who he really is?
Hmm. That's a tough one to answer.
I'll tell you this. That the experience that he holds and the amount of knowledge that he holds on fighting, he's older than he looks. I can feel it. She just kind of nods and starts heading down the hallway. And as that's happening, Singe, you do pass by Remy in the hallway on your way to the kind of the dining area. And Remy just kind of nod you, just morning.
Morning, Remy. Sorry, I was muted. Sorry.
That's okay.
I do sense something that's amiss, though.
Do you try to stop her or anything?
I just say, "Are you okay?"
I will be, I think. Just got a lot to work on.
Choose the right path. That's it. Or the path you think that's best. No, I just continue going into the kitchen. So
As you kind of pass by, she just says that to you. I've always felt I walked that path. And she keeps on going. So
Okay.
at this point, then, Uros, you will also be getting up.
Finally.
And
Get a bitch.
yep. So yeah, you're kind of up a little later than the
Paralysis
rest. So
yeah.
yeah,
With
you
paralysis deep.
slept in nice and hearty, but DB's doing his normal thing, just kind of like bouncing on your chest. Beep 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 beep.
Kind of just grab him, hold him on my chest. Thanks, buddy. I'm awake.
Anytime. And while that's happening, as Eros is getting up, Elias, you are zonked out, and Paradox is trying to do the same thing and try to like waking you up, but you're not budging. You're just like, and he's just getting close. Elias, come on, time to get up. What'd you do?
I just said bacon to him.
But bacon? Well, at least you're awake. Come on, time to get up.
What do you want, you sentient hoverball?
It's time to get up. We need to talk to the rest of the team.
Fine. 5 more minutes.
No, time to get up. And
5 more minutes.
he starts bouncing on your chest. Just come on, get up, get up, get up, get up.
I just fly and grab him and put him into like the nearest bag.
So you reach for him trying to grab him, but he will use his teleport technique to teleport away from you as you do this. It's nope, I'm not letting you do it this time. Come on, get up.
Fine, Mom. Yeah, I get up.
You see like his brow, his little ghost brow furls as you do that.
Yeah, I'll get up.
All right, so you guys get up, and then you guys are all given a breakfast. Some nice bacon and eggs, since someone happened to mention bacon.
Oh, man, I want some bacon now.
So you guys are each given a plate. There's a cook that you've never seen before. He's a bit of a young one. Looks like about 16 or 17, but a kid. But he cooks each of you a nice plate of bacon and eggs.
You're a godsend.
I hope they're good. We brought those eggs from Earth.
Thank you. A luxury, honestly, considering all the shit we've been through.
All right, so yeah, you guys are given each of your meals, and what would you guys like to talk about?
I look over at Elias. Like, you want to tell him?
That was.
Okay, fine. I'll tell him. Nikon's dead.
I was gonna fucking say that.
You're
I
too
just didn't
slow.
hear
Shut
you.
up.
What?
Nikon is dead.
Elias did it. It's when he was wearing the crown.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks. Just a huh.
It's just like it's just.
Well, Ash doesn't has only really met Nikon, I believe, once or twice.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's just the response of huh.
I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to respond to this.
Elias did it. Yes, it
And
was
I'm
while
kinda
he was with
wanted
the
in the
crown.
city.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Paradox will kind of pop out, and he'll just kind of better explain. So the city is looking for Elias because, as he was possessed, and I was, I don't know.
Inoperable.
Sure, we'll go with
Inhibited.
that. Those are just adjectives. I mean,
Yes, it doesn't
doesn't
matter.
really matter.
He was stuck. Could not do anything. Let's move on.
So apparently, during this time when all this was going on, Elias went to the city and killed Nikon. They saw his robes, and they're looking for him for questioning and, if not, arresting. So, things are not looking good in the city at the moment. Let's just put it lightly.
Guys,
Oh, and there was the other thing that Ross mentioned too, and as he looks at you, Elias, with the Traveler.
Oh yeah, the Traveler being at a standstill and not moving.
of that,
And Paradox will project the image up that was given by Ross to him, and he shows it to the rest of you guys. And for anyone who's been inside the last city, you guys, aside from Singe, you guys are all aware that, that at this time, in this period of time, the Traveler was never healed. So it's got broken pieces around it that are hovering around the Traveler. And you guys would immediately recognize this as looks like a still image. And Paradox goes, "Don't be fooled. This is a video. The Traveler's at a standstill."
that is worrisome.
Traveler dead.
Well, no, we all still have our light, so that's not entirely the case, but we're not exactly sure what it means. And it's riling up people in the city even more than Nikon's death. And when you're compiling these things on there, it's a recipe for chaos.
Hmm.
The hope, I guess, at this point is that if we go forward with the Vex offensive and we help them, we might have a shot. Maybe we can fix this. It's a long shot, I realize, and I'm not much for long shots myself, but this seems like our best bet is to go forward with this and face this head on. But
I mean, there isn't much of an option either way.
well, we have a few things going for us at least. We know what Remy can do when we know the extent of her power as to what was described in the book. So we know that there's an energy absorbing component to her seal. What that is, I'm not sure, and at least to what extent. If I was to fathom a guess, the energy absorption is a strength booster.
Right,
But
booster.
the way the book describes it is that energy absorption was pushed to its limit, meaning it's at its maximum capability. So if she absorbs the nearby energy of, I'll say, 5 of us, her power might be increased exponentially. But there's the other factor of could her body handle it, and 2, can she control it? She holds a power greater than, well, frankly, any of us. But she's scared and, frankly, doubting herself.
Well, I mean, if anything, if he's able to absorb our energy, then we wouldn't want to immediately force a good amount of energy onto her, yeah? We would probably want to do one person at a time. And
To give her confidence.
It might not be in her control either, because when the seal is active, that's when it begins. And in what she's described in her recent incidents where the seal did go off, she lost control and ripped through an entire Cabal Legion as if it were nothing. That, as she described, really had no energy around her, at least as far as Guardians. But she did say all of the Cabal shields dropped. I can hypothesize that she likely stole the energy from those, and she can not only steal energy from Guardians, but perhaps any form of energy source surrounding her. Sort of a last-ditch effort to throw everything that she could at them, perhaps.
Is it possible to like step into the quarters of time before doing that? Before she does that?
How you mean?
Hmm?
Oh, well, what do you mean by that?
Like, what do you call it? Like, if she uses her last ditch effort, when we see her like activating it, it would be best to like try to find a place or some type of field where we're invulnerable in, like,
How
or
the
where we
hell
don't
would we
have to
do that?
sacrifice that much. So I'm saying maybe be able to step into the quarters of time, since we'll be at a time where literally in a place where time intersects. So.
Paradox will just go, well, it may be possible, but remember one thing to consider is that once it does become active, it absorbs nearby energy. If we're close enough, that might sap the energy and actually may prevent us from opening the door to the corridors.
Yeah, we just don't. Then we just don't have to be close enough. I'm a what do you call it,
What
sniper
if
anyways. I have a rifle, so
what if we try to help her learn more about her power?
that
If
could help
we're
as well. We can help her establish like a certain range where she can use it, where it doesn't affect us.
Well, according to the seal, the range is pretty much set. There's nothing that can really be changed on that. But what if we found some way to trigger it and test it for ourselves?
It's a plausible idea.
If I'm being honest, I think that's maybe what she's already trying to do is to figure out a way to turn it on at will. Because from what she described, in both times that it went off, she was not in control and she was, well, for
For one,
lack
she
of a
has to
better
build
term,
confidence.
she was at death's door on both times the seals went off. Perhaps some sense of desperation, last ditch effort, like I mentioned. It
We have
makes
to give her the
sense.
confidence. That's really the only way, because she currently, if she doesn't have control over her emotions, I don't think she'll be able to like concentrate enough to control it.
And as you guys are having this conversation, you're hearing a coming from outside downstairs. Do any of you go to the window to look?
Yeah, I guess
Well,
I'll
yeah.
go.
All right. I won't even have you roll perception because you're going to have a pretty clear view of this. You're seeing both
Just in case.
Julius and Remy are trading blows. She's holding her staff and she's blocking some of his attacks with the staff. And he's blocking her staff attacks just with his arm, just straight up just blocking it. and you're seeing them trade blows back and forth. You're noticing one thing in Remy's fighting stance compared to what she's normally been doing. You've seen her be a lot more aggressive in her form. But as you're watching this, she's more balanced. She's not going full offensive in her strikes against Julius. And you can't really hear anything outside of just the hits that are being blocked, and you're hearing the clashing outside. It's all quiet pretty much in the entire academy, so you could literally hear a pin drop, so you cannot miss hearing these sounds.
Looks like she's trying to improve herself. All right.
Julius
I'm
is
gonna
he
do
is sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna, no, it's fine. What I'm gonna do is like leave the room and just do some maintenance on my body for now
Okay.
while thinking on the best solution. Sorry,
Alright,
I'm
with
saying this
me
because I have to use the bathroom.
Go for it. No, you're okay. That's fine, dude.
All right, be right back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask who wants to come with me to the moon.
Any particular reason?
Getting another sniper rifle since you have mine.
I guess I can go. I don't have much else to do. I mean, my current like line of research requires more information, so don't really have much to do.
Actually, you might want to contact Ross and see if he can pick up your thorn.
That is a good
That-
point.
Thorn is not something that's being crafted in that way.
Oh wait, no.
And
yeah,
actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, Ash, Bork, I'm kind of surprised you haven't noticed already, but check your character sheet.
Oh fuck. Oh, I forgot to open it. That's why. Sheet. OMG, I have Thor.
Oh yeah.
Yay.
You have your first
Oh,
exotic.
Okay, there we go. I just want to see what this is here.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll give you a minute to read that, but after the last encounter, kind of where you're getting these visions and you're hearing the whispers from your hand cannon.
Is the
You
gun
look
still
down.
talking
You
to
look
me?
down at the hand cannon that you originally had, the one that never had this form. But you look down at it. It's changed.
Oh fuck. Hey yo, I got it now. Yo. Nice. So I now have the thorn.
And as you're looking down at it and noticing its changes, you are starting to hear those whispers
Oh
of
god. The voices.
great.
The voices, man.
It's subtle. It's very subtle, but it's still something that you're hearing because it's not like it's like a close sensation, but it's like it's in your head.
Yeah. It's
But it's just a
It's
very
not
subtle,
subtle.
and it's still in the moment here. It's still fairly quiet.
well, out of character. We know what happened to fucking Dredgen Yor when
Well, yeah, we saw him literally.
Yep,
was
and
it Dredgen or was it actually Yor?
it was Dredgen
Durgan.
Yor.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
But as you know, he is still alive, and he still has some beef with you.
Oh yeah, because I tried to steal his gun, didn't I?
You did try to steal his gun, and now you made an imitation. How do you think
Oh,
he feels
love.
about that?
Where the fuck is shit?
What a shitter.
Where? No, I was gonna say where's Shin?
Shin. Shin has not been
Yeah,
mentioned or
was
ever
one of-
brought up.
considering.
because what happened with Dredge and Yor is, I mean, above game, the story has changed
Yeah.
because his path took on a different one than that of the one that we all know in canon.
You are the new Shin Malper.
Holy shit. Yo. I just become the new Jim Halper.
But look, in the back of your mind, with this thorn at your side, you get that feeling you will be encountering him again. And this time will probably be the last time, one way or another.
One way or another, I must
Fuck
get
off.
on you. And I'm gonna get you one way.
I like to imagine that like Ash has this long monologue that's basically just what Dave just said, and when she says like one way or another,
Just
Elias is very
breaks out in the
quietly,
song.
no, very quietly, just one way or another.
Another, I'ma find you.
Is there a roll perception to see if they hear him sing this?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm
No. This is what's happening now. Perception.
Dude.
20.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? I'll try it in stealth and just see what happens.
Oh, fuck. Fuck it up.
So you don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
Elias seems to be humming a tune in his head, and he's kind of swaying his head back and forth as it's going off in his mind.
Just with a goofy ass smile on my face.
Bro. Well, that's interesting. So I'm just kind of staring at Thorn. I guess I can just put it away and move on now. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to make sure I don't give in to the voices.
All right. So, at this moment, what would you guys like to do?
Well, you know where I gotta go.
Yeah. Well, you still got another 12 hours before you gotta head that way anyway, so you still got some time. But in the meantime, you guys kind of have some free time to, roam about, check on Malachi, go check with Remy, go do that, whatever you want to do.
I want the
Right,
fun.
we need to inform Malachi still.
I mean, is Malachi still in a medically induced coma?
Oh well, as Julie
Wasn't
said, he should be
wasn't
awake now.
Waking up, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, is he in a medically induced coma? Is what I'm saying.
You will be
No,
after I'm
not
done.
medically induced. He was exhausted from the amount of torture he had to endure and the sleepless nights that he went through. He was pretty much like dead exhausted.
I guess it would be a good idea to go check on him, make sure he's all right.
Nah, he dead, fool.
He died. Oh, too bad.
I hope not.
No.
Nope, he died.
dead,
The
Dave,
doctors, he has the best doctors Glimmer can buy.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead, Jim.
Fucking hell.
I'd like to find
So
him.
who would like to go check on Malachi?
I'll go, I guess. If anyone wants to come along, they can.
Yeah, I'll be going.
All right, Ash and Theo.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so the two of you will go wandering into the room that Malachi was put in. You open up the doors, and you do see his bed is sitting up. He is looking awake, and he's trying to eat. The doctor is sitting there by his side, trying to help him, just take your time. You got this. You don't have to rush. And he looks over to you, and he puts down the fork. He goes, "I'd rather have a conversation than try to do this."
How are you feeling? Considering, I mean,
Well,
damn it.
considering the amount of, well, torture I just endured for I don't know how long, I'd say I'm holding up. My body, however, well, that's another matter.
Hmm.
What can I help you with? And he kind of leans back into his bed.
I mean, we just came over to check on you, honestly. Wanted to make sure you were
And
healing
to
up.
and also to give you a bit of a runner-up of what has recently happened as well.
All right, fill me in. What's happening?
So, do you want the bad news or the worrisome news?
They sound equally terrible. You pick.
Oh wait, quick question. Does he know about the? So does he know about the vanguards? And does he even care for one?
Probably
I don't
not.
remember.
I mean,
Yep.
he's aware of their existence, sure. I mean, because he lives under the city. He's worked around them for many times, but he doesn't necessarily associate with them.
So then I at least assume he cares about the traveler. Or does that also apply?
Ask him. You'd have to ask him that because you don't know his stance on the traveler.
Right. So, well, it might be bad news if you care. Do you know of the traveler, the thing that gives us guardians light?
Well, it'd be kind of hard to miss, Theo. It's right smack in the middle of the last city.
Yeah,
You
apparently
don't
that.
necessarily miss a giant floating ball that has been there for I don't know how many hundreds of years.
Yeah, so apparently that stopped.
He tilts his head a bit. Stopped. What do you
I
mean?
God said no.
I don't understand it either, but that's probably because I'm not that bright. But the things around it kind of just stopped moving.
He tries to sip a bit. Just, and the doctor's like, no, stop. You're hurt. You're not getting
Uh,
out of bed yet.
yeah.
I'm just adjusting myself. Settle down.
Nova, can you bring it up?
Yep, Nova will pop out and we'll display this, and Nova will actually chime in. This is not a still image. This is a video. Everything is at a standstill. You see Malachi's eyes study the video for a moment. He tried to stop all of you from maintaining light.
It would seem that way. And now the worrisome news. We have a
All right.
truce with the Vex.
I could see why that would be considered worrisome.
Yeah,
But
because
to
that
what end? What are the Vex getting out of this?
stopping God Hand. Because
So it's for them.
apparently he's a much greater threat than us. So it's
He
in
would
their
be.
best interest.
You would be.
And so now we have a truce with the Vex and with their forces and some of ours. They're gonna try a offensive push on him because apparently they know where he is.
At the edge of time.
Exactly.
His his power has grown since your first encounter. That time he spent disappeared from all of us.
Will strengthening.
It was more than that. He found something. The Awoken have a technology that pales in comparison to all of us. They're inside the what do you call it? Oh, Eros would probably better know this answer, but the awoken home world, home place. I'm not completely familiar, but he went there, and in the distributary, that's what it was. The distributary for the awoken. Inside there, time moves much more slower than it does out here. 1 minute out here is like 100 years in there. He spent a good amount of time there. And he took something. I don't know what, but this is how he's able to do this. He's manipulating time on a scale that is, frankly, quite breaking to the ideas of quantum mechanics. The very concept of time itself and, well, frankly, anti-time are all starting to fall into place. I'm suppose I'm not talking to anyone who really understands what I'm saying here in terms of quantum mechanics, but
I have a slight understanding. Granted, mainly because of everything I've already experienced.
to put it in a layman's terms, time and anti-time are analogous to the relationship between antimatter and normal matter.
Hmm.
If time and anti-time are to collide, they would annihilate one another, causing a rupture. That's what
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe is how he's manipulating the timeline, is he's creating ruptures and disrupting the normal flow of time. This
And
is
by the
why...
And by the end of it all, it'll be pure destruction.
Exactly. He aims to collapse the universe in on itself. This
Then
is
once-
something no one
Once
seemingly could stop, but if we can go back to the point to which he attempts to make the first change, perhaps we can stop it. And I'm assuming that's what your Vex friends probably aiming for as well.
considering they're pulling out a lot of their own kind from different universes, or what they said. Yeah, they're definitely not trying to hold back against him.
If the Vex see him as this kind of a threat and they're willing to move their entire entire army, race, whatever the case may
Hello.
be.
Yep.
I'm back.
Welcome back. If he's trying to do this and the Vex recognize it for what it is, it would make sense that they would try to stop him. Because this is a matter of survival. For not just them, but for all of us.
So, what did I walk into?
Discussion.
Theo and Asher are conversing with Malachi.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, let's hope that we have enough strength to get rid of him, or at least stop whatever time stuff he's doing.
Well, what about our ace in the hole?
Remy?
He nods.
Well, she's definitely trying to overcome her underminings. She's not going for complete offensive.
There we go.
She's trying to mix it up now, which can be good. And with a few pep talks, she should be slowly learning on how to control her power.
Malachi looks around. I'm assuming Julius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Would be correct.
Oh, good. When it comes to a matter like this, I would trust Julius entirely with it. And he's nodding at you as he says this.
well, for his combat skills, he's definitely a prodigy, or even a master at that point.
Exactly why I hired him. As a youth, he demonstrated unique talent that was, well, far beyond anything I've ever seen. He learned well under Nikon, last I knew.
Oh,
He's a
there's
good
some
man.
news that should probably be shared.
Do you want to tell him? Because I've already given him two bad ones.
Do you want to hear more bad? Are you okay with hearing more bad news, Malachi?
At this point, you're not going to shake me with anything I don't already.
Nikon's
Oh.
dead. He is
How
dead.
did it happen?
When Elias was under the influence of that crown, I guess. I didn't get all the details, but
I see.
Yeah, corrupt Elias killed him and crushed his ghost.
now he's a fugitive, at least in the eyes of the city.
They're going to be a little too preoccupied with current events.
Well, yeah, they do have a bit on their plates, including Traveler. Since they're going to be trying to find however way to get that to work again without knowing the full situation.
Well, then the plan still hasn't changed. If we can somehow prevent him from creating the first time rupture, we may be able to prevent all of this, maybe even reverse it.
And hopefully we won't lose anyone in the time stream.
And thanks for invoking Murphy's Law.
No battery's about to go down because of that.
Oh, yes. We'll definitely need to pull our strengths together for this combat upcoming.
Of that, I have no doubt. Unfortunately, I can't really offer much information. He wanted to know something more. He kept asking about Uros and his connection to the distributary, but as far as I know, he has never been. Perhaps in his past life before he became a guardian, but I don't know. Something about some sort of immunity.
Immunity.
I never got any explanation. It was just asking me, what is this about Uros's immunity? What is the immunity? Who gave it to him? I could not answer any of these questions, so
But I guess there would possibly be one who would. Though of course it's a very long shot. Because the only one I would possibly think would be. Hang on. I would think the only one that would possibly know about something that has to do with an immunity, especially for her kind, would be the queen.
I'll be back.
Well, trying to get a hold of the queen is going to be profoundly difficult. She's not exactly one that can just be easily reached, especially by someone not of her kind.
You know?
Perhaps that might be more of a job for Eros himself.
Then I'll pass along this notice to him and see if he's able to do anything, and maybe we'll be able to discover something that would be of use.
He may know something that I don't whatever this immunity is. But I'm afraid that's all I can tell you about my time.
All we truly need now is words of encouragement for this adventure.
Well, we need to get Remy up to speed then. And I don't mean up to speed in the sense of knowledge, but in the sense of getting her more familiar and acquainted with her talents. I trust Julius to know how to invoke those emotions.
Well, it definitely seems like he's getting under her skin, that's for sure.
Well, when it comes to matters of combat and teaching, Julius always did want to be a teacher, but never really could find a student he found worthy of succession, at least in his eyes.
I could see that being a possibility. If anything, if he were to become a teacher, I definitely like to see that.
Well, truth be told, I feel the reason he never did find one is because he's looking for an equal. And
Oh,
perhaps he found that in her, which is why he's willing to help her so much.
I. Well, it's probably almost about time that we're gonna need to head out. So wish us luck, and hopefully we won't keel over.
You have some time still, I'm assuming, before you're going to officially depart, because you're not going to be leaving until Remy is ready.
Oh, yeah. Though we're not exactly sure how long it's gonna be for us that we're gonna be gone for.
Malachi will nod and he'll just say, I have faith in all of you and all of your abilities. You've proven me right time and time again. And I know you'll continue to do that. To that end, I simply ask you, help Remy find her true strength. Because her strength will be all of yours.
Believe me, we're trying.
I know.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and catch up with the others and then see how they're doing. Come
I'm
on,
gonna
Ash.
keep working to get out of this damn bed. And the doctor is just like, come on, stop it. You need to rest. You've been badly injured. And Malachi will just turn to the doctor. I know I have been. But I'm not gonna just lay here and do nothing. You have your plans. I'm gonna work on my own. See you soon.
Gotcha.
So with that, let's actually jump over to Uros. What have you been doing, buddy?
Working on them. I wanted to work on my drone, the one that Ringo that got hurt, like damaged. So I wanted to go do that for
Okay.
a moment. So
All right.
I've been trying to, but
Trying to think. Well, because this is gonna be like a repair. I'm wondering what I could have you roll for that.
I'm also sitting here, been playing with the transformer. So I'm like waiting. I'm like, I'm gonna play with the transformer.
I will have you roll. Let's go with. Well, let's just say medicine, because
Medicine?
you're trying to repair.
Yeah.
And,
I want the
and
repairing.
you're not necessarily proficient with it, but let's just roll and see what happens. See if you can.
Yeah,
Repair
I
it.
want to see if I can. If not, I'll see if somebody can. Didn't think so. Could I get DB's
Okay.
help?
So you've opened up the chassis for the drone, and you're looking over the components, and you're able to at least see some of the damaged components. But looking at that, you're not entirely sure how to fix it, but you've at least been able to recognize the problems with it. So you can at least, if you knew someone who is a little more efficient with repairing electronics and stuff like this, you could at least tell them what the problem is.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, like you're only able to at least diagnose the issue. You're not able to fix it.
Yeah. Okay. No. Fine then. I wanted to try at least to see if I could.
Yep, and at least this way, like if you did happen to find someone here who might be able to do that, you could at least tell them what's broken.
Now can I ask her, see if there's anybody who is capable of working on that stuff? That's there?
You can kind of like wander around the academy and see if there might be any of Malachi's associates who are there who might be able to help you.
Okay, that I'd like to try and see if I can. I kind of want to have my drone back. Ringo went
Sure.
down.
Yeah, poor Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo. They're named after the Beatles. That's why they got John, Paul, Ringo, and George.
All right, so you start kind of wandering the halls a little bit. You go down a couple of floors, and you do happen to see that there are a couple of mechanics that are working on some circuit boards and some computer technology. They both kind of turn to you, and like they're both wearing these weird looking glasses, and they're starting to go, "Oh, hello."
Yes, I need some help. My drone got shot down, and I kind of know what's wrong with it, but I don't know how to fix it.
Oh, one of them, he's a short fella. He's like maybe 5 feet. He gets up from the chair and kind of walks over to you, and he outstretches his hand.
And I hand him the drone. My name's Yoros, by the way.
Jonas, that's a nice name.
Yes, thank you. What's your name?
I'm Benny,
Benny.
and my associate over there is Jimmy.
Hello, Jimmy.
He just kind of he waves as he looks over at you, and the Benny starts to open up the chassis, and he does this quicker than you. He just kind of like almost like pops off, and just he's got like really close up to his face, like he's maybe holding the drone like maybe 6 inches from his face as he's kind of like observing the inner circuitry. Just oh yeah, this took a couple of dingers.
Yes, it
Looks
did. He was hit hard.
yeah, he's got kinetic damage all through these little circuit portions here.
Yes, it was shocking.
Well, let me see what I got. And you see Benny kind of turn around, and you see him start to open up these drawers, and you're hearing like the shifting of metal and plastic in this drawer, and just he's like digging into this here. And you see him kind of like reach in deep, and he pulls out a fresh circuit board.
Ooh.
And he goes, and he comes back over to you and goes, I can replace it. It may take me, well, and he kind of looks, he moves the cloth away from his watch, and he kind of looks and goes, I could do this in, what do you think, Jimmy? Hey, Jimmy just kind of peeks over, just kind of like gives it a glance, and he goes, couple hours.
Okay, that's all right. Yes, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to perform surgery on this one, so just come back in a couple hours. I'll get it fixed for you. Yeah.
All right, take care of Ringo, please.
Ringo.
Yeah,
You name these
yes,
things?
yes, I have 4 of them. John, Paul,
He
Ringo,
kind
and
of
George.
he lifts it up a little bit and kind of looks at it like the front of it, like,
Wait.
do you treat these as pets?
Sorta. I have a fond attachment to them. Leave me alone.
You just, like you seeing like his eyes are just blinking huge in these glasses. It's just kind of like, okay. It's just, they're not sentient. They're not even. Whatever.
They've come in handy and they've been helpful. So, even though you might not think that, I do.
Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, we'll do surgery on, and he looks back at Ringo, and you see him kind of turn, and he's moving the drone over to a desk. The hell's a name like Ringo? And with that, Elias, what are you doing in your downtime?
He is playing War Thunder. It's a very
Don't
old.
you dare!
It's a very old game.
Don't you fucking dare!
I've got the Beatles. He's got his games. Visor.
Oh, I guess we'll come back to him in a minute here because he's muted for some reason. So.
Oh, something's going on. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to push the issue, so.
I'm back.
Okay, welcome back.
Okay.
All right, so at this point, I was gonna call on Blue here, but he's muted for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Something must be going on. All right.
Blue, wake up.
So we'll actually just come back over to Theo and Ash. So you guys have concluded your conversation with Malachi, and at this point, what do you two want to do from here?
Dang it.
I think Bork might be away too. So Theo, what do you want to do, buddy?
I'm here.
Okay.
I honestly, I don't know.
I was eating. I was chewing my food.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm.
Don't chew, swallow.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's what I'm doing in my free time. Kiss.
I'm eating this food right here.
So we have a good amount of free
Oh, fuck.
time. Got a good amount of downtime. I could try getting a better inspection of what I'm capable of doing. So I haven't exactly gone into that for a while.
I kind of want to test out Thorn a bit, personally.
Need to find a firing range.
I may or may not want to use a live target. I'm gonna probably find something around here that's.
I'm not
Hostile.
live.
You better not shoot me.
I'm not gonna shoot
Yeah,
you guys. You guys understand that this gun is like incredibly dangerous to shoot at other guardians.
I mean, just saying, man.
You said you need a
just
live
like-
target.
I was intending to mean like, I don't know, some Fallen, a Vex, something that isn't a guardian.
Leave my
Vex
butt
aren't
out of it.
alive.
Well,
They're mechanical beings.
well, I mean, you probably wouldn't want to shoot a Vex. We just got a truce with them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you wouldn't want to see Vex.
Then Fallen it is, I guess.
Fallen are dead. Or undead, I should say.
No?
Mm,
No, the Fallen are very much living beings.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to make up some sort of.
You're talking the Scorn. They're the undead.
Yeah.
They also don't exist, so anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I like ask around about if there's any like small pockets of Fallen in the area?
So when it comes to Venus, this has been a predominantly Vex territory since last you knew. The Fallen have mostly been congregating on or around Earth.
I mean, just in general, not just the Fallen.
Yeah. No, I'm just giving you the down low on that. So, in where you're at right now, you're not really going to find any pockets of Fallen in particular outside of maybe a scout party, but those are going to be fairly hard to find, is because they're going to be small, fast, and fairly undetectable in some instances. So, I mean, you can attempt to do a search for a Fallen scout party in an attempt to just find yourself some targets like that. But otherwise, if you're just looking for like some simple targets to just like test it out on, there are other things that you could test it out on.
I could do the ancient guardian tradition of going to the Cosmodrome and shooting things there with my.
It just simply depends on how dirty of a scientist you want to be about it.
I mean, I'm not above killing weaker targets. No, I don't know. What is there around, I guess, that I could use as a live test subject?
So in terms of just live creatures, there are some animals that are on Venus.
Well,
They're
I
not
got it, my
th-
guys. Don't worry. I'll
They're-
use the
We can't
animals
find
like
one.
Cinderella.
let's see if we
No,
can
like
find one.
I'd say kind of more in line with birds. Perhaps something you might be able to go say.
I'll tweet with
Duck
the bird,
hunting?
No worries.
Okay, well. All right,
Hell
sorry.
yeah,
I'm
duck
I'm
hunt.
also back, by the way. Why not just test it on one of us? We have shields.
Because it's dangerous. Like this thing is dangerous. Like, shooting-
Above game, you probably don't want to be the test subject of this thing. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
no,
put that
literally,
out
like,
there.
And in game, Ash is like, this thing is fucking dangerous.
I mean, literally, just put up the fucking shield that Theo has.
I want to use it on a live target. I'm not going to use it on any of you because I don't want to accidentally fuck you up beyond repair. I will shoot a bird. It is fine.
Okay, so let's go duck hunting.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess
I
Anyone
want.
wanna come with? Does
I
anyone
wish
wanna
I
come
had
with?
some fun music for this, but I don't.
Play the duck hunt theme.
I'll ask.
I don't.
I'll
I don't
ask
have that in my
everybody if-
jukebox.
I want to ask anybody if they want to come with. Like
Well, you know what I gotta do? I don't have time for that.
I have to
Well,
check.
I mean, no. You still have time. Like at this point,
It
you
also
still.
takes time to travel there. We're also going from Venus to the moon.
But he did ask for 24 hours. So if you're trying to
And
get there in that 24-hour time frame, you'd be departing like early evening,
I
and
also want to point
it's
out we could
morning.
also just go to the moon and test it out there.
That is a good point.
There you go. You could actually do that too if you wanted.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I do want to use it. I do want to try combat scenario as well. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to be looking in the inner workings of myself.
He's
So-
gonna take himself apart.
No, you're doing a meditation, I'm assuming.
You know what? Yeah, I'll go for that because I'm more or less a walking
He's
computer to
dissecting
say.
himself.
All right. So yeah, you're taking some time to, reflect on your inner self and kind of search within. So while you're doing that, now my question, I guess, for you guys is going to be this. If you guys are going to go to the moon for target practice, are you intending to stay there, or are you going to go there, kind of test it, and then depart to another
I
location?
feel like. Oh no, I feel like we don't have anywhere else to go other than the moon right now, right?
I mean, other than us having to
For
find
the
dark
matter
matter.
of Elias and getting the sniper rifle from Banshee, yeah, that's what you guys would be doing at the moment.
Do we know of any locations of dark matter right now, or no? Are we still gonna?
I mean, we still gotta find some. That's all we know.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't even found the ship from like way back when, have we?
No.
Oh no, that was already found. I mean, if you recall, Malachi did send some people to begin extracting from
Oh.
the garden.
Okay.
Yeah, we should
So-
see about some progress with that. See about like, or see if anything has come from that.
I'll just say Malachi will probably have to look into it because he's been somewhat preoccupied. So he might be a tad out of the loop as to its progress, but he can definitely look into it. And
I mean, wouldn't Julius be the better person to ask?
Yeah, probably considering Malachi is currently in recovery.
it's going to depend on how much Julius knows about what Malachi was doing with the forest. Because while he is the bodyguard, he's not necessarily privy to all of his actions. So you can certainly ask him and see if he does know.
Julius, do you know anything about black matter?
Dark matter.
Dark matter? Same thing?
No.
So while you yell out this question, he stops his training with Remy. That stuff that you found in, what was it, the cave, right?
Well, they found. I wasn't there.
I know people were sent to work on it, but outside of that, I haven't heard anything.
That could be one of two things, good or bad.
I can put in a call, see if I can find anything. Remy just she kind of steps back and she's like, "Yeah, go ahead. I could use a breather." And Julius will kind of step away, and you see him pull out a pad from his pocket, and you see him beginning to type in commands onto this pad. Remy will walk over to you, Elias, and just like, "So, what's this dark matter? What's that for?"
I'd just tap the thing on my chest.
That kind of thing.
You remember me moving fast enough to fight Mr. Dickhead?
Yeah,
Mr.
but
Dickhead.
we may need to work on that. And she kind of points to it, and as you look down at it, you didn't necessarily see this before, but in the fight against you as corrupted Elias with the team, it was damaged.
I guess we need to get it worked on.
Yeah, well, I think we got a lot of prepping to do before we're actually going to be heading out, so maybe look into it, see if we can get it fixed before we leave.
I just pull out my canteen and hand it to her.
So above game, like they've been training for an hour. So yeah, she's winded. Like she'll take the canteen and she'll slug it back. Thank you. She hands it back to you. She pretty much emptied the canteen.
It's more dependent on where we go from here.
Well, so I know you were talking about going to the moon.
To the moon.
Fly me to
To the moon.
Let me pick your
we all
fucking
just
ass.
break out into song.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Breakdance.
I like to imagine that happened like in game.
Yeah, it's just like everybody knows Frank Sinatra. There's no way Frank Sinatra got lost to time.
Fly me to the moon.
I personally don't believe Frank
Let
Sinatra
me
died. Think
I
about it.
don't believe it. I thought you were about to say I don't believe in Frank Sinatra.
No, Elvis is not dead. He
He's
just
a
went
man.
home.
Yeah.
No, Frank Sinatra's just a guardian.
You have to wonder though. Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna get into
He
this. It's not
faked his
a
death.
game to play, but like,
He's a transcendental being.
I think he fucked up the wording there.
No, transcendental.
Transcendental, yeah.
Are you sure that's
I
the
speak
right
Spanish,
word?
okay? Fuck you. I'm a Spanish speaker,
How
okay?
is Spanish related to an
blaming-
English
Stop
word?
blaming my accent, bitch.
Quit being short.
I'm not short, you dumbass.
You know what? I'll go back to referring to you as the Discord kitten from the other server.
Oh
Oh.
my
fight,
fucking
fight,
god.
fight.
Now, children.
I am an instigator.
No, because he knows what I'm referencing to.
I am gonna die.
Don't make me put you in timeout.
Oh,
Anyway,
oh my god.
so Remy will ask you, so you're going to the moon, get some stuff. What's your plan then? Because I'm assuming this weapon that you're getting is, well, strong.
It's
But-
basically another sniper rifle that Theo has. And we're also testing out that one's gun, and I'm pointing out at Ash's pistol. What was that?
Theo's or Mercer's having an issue with his internet. He said I'd be right back.
But
So-
yeah,
Yeah.
I just
new
wanted
gun.
Ash's gun go because we're also testing that too, and we're meeting Ross and them on the moon.
New gun would like to play with it a little bit without killing anybody important.
And I jump in front of it as he fires the first shot.
He just puts the barrel to his head and pulls the trigger.
Fire!
Or else does it get down, Mr. President?
On himself.
Bring it.
All right, so you guys are gonna go to the moon. I'm gonna keep working here with Julius. So
Good luck.
get what you need.
I was gonna
And-
say, like, by the way, have we heard anything from your exo stranger friend ever since?
Elsie, well, she's trying to help out in her own way, but she's very secretive, and I don't know. I'm assuming she's trying to do something, but as to what, I don't know. She may still yet be of help to us, though. Well, if You guys are gonna take care of that. I'm gonna keep working here.
Yeah, do what you need.
And Julius walks back over, and he's made a call, and he'll come
By
to
the way,
realize that
Julius does know that Nikon is dead, right?
you never told him.
I will
You
look
you
at him and just go, you and I need to have a talk.
he just looks a little. He tilts his head a little bit at you. Just all right. Let's talk. And he kind of leads you, kind of like back over to where he stepped away to make the phone call. He just kind of leads you over in that same direction.
We're gonna go actually to the bar.
Actually, we're gonna.
Well,
get
he's
trained.
intending on continuing training with Remy, so he's just pulling you aside for a conversation.
I just go, trust me, you're gonna need a drink.
All right. And he just gestures for you to lead the way.
And so me and him are gonna head toward the bar for a minute.
All right, so you guys, I mean, you
Hmm.
gotta go back up to the top floor again. So you're right up the elevator, and you'll go back up to the bar, and
It also gives Remy time to fucking not die.
all right.
I basically pour him a shot and slide it to him and go, Nikon's dead.
His eyes slowly trail down to the drink as you say this to him. I could see why you wanted a drink then.
But you might not drink it after the next thing I say.
His eyes slowly roll back up to you.
When I was corrupted and controlled, I was the one that killed him, apparently. I have no memory of doing it. I don't even remember it. And the last thing I remember is me being on a bar in the in the bar in the city, and then coming to in the castle. I'm
Julius
wanted.
will pick up the shot and he'll hit you. So he made you do it.
Mm-hmm.
He slams the shot back and puts it on the bar.
I take my shot and just say to Nikon.
It's an icon.
Teacher to both of us.
Did you know this was before you ever came to the last city, but I was but a boy when I joined his training classes, and right off the bat, he immediately recognized that I was different. Very few people have given me chances over the years, Malachi being one of them, Nikon being the other. A lot of people were afraid of me when they could see what I was able to do. Not afraid of me in the sense of the warlords of old or other guardians, but people didn't really understand me then. But Nikon did. Over the years, we trained together, and eventually, I began to help him in training others. But I never could find anyone that was worth my time. But, and he kind of looks back out to the window, But I have found someone who might not necessarily take up my mantle, but I feel like maybe I have found someone who maybe can be my equal.
Talking about Remy?
Indeed.
Well, do what it
You've
takes.
you've seen just how powerful she is and how devastating her power can be, but you know how powerful she could be if she was truly focused?
Incredibly. It's kind of like the difference between a rifle bullet to a nuke.
I did a little reading of my own into that seal she was talking about. I hope you don't mind. I did sneak one of those books away from one of your men.
You've been close enough to this group for long enough that it's perfectly fine.
I believe she could do so much more. Her power is impressive all on its own, but if given the proper amplifier, and he kind of taps on the bar a little bit, kind of gesturing to the fact that the knowledge in the book, if that's what they're referring to, her power, that kind of power, that strength, is like unlike anything devised on this side of sanity. She could rival gods, hive gods, now. Imagine what she could do if pushed further beyond.
But you also, in the end, got to think of her mindset too.
I know. And that's the part that worries me the most. She's been through a lot, and she's struggled to deal with it over the many years that she has attempted to do so. I think, though, with proper motivation and guidance, she can overcome it, become something more. But whether that power will be enough to challenge the Devil Speedster, only one way to find out.
That's the truth.
I will do my best to help her find her way in the short amount of time that we have before we must begin. What I will tell you, though, is that it's not necessarily her confidence. She believes in herself and she knows her strength, but what she's terrified of is hurting other people, people she cares about. That thought hangs over her. She's afraid of what she can do because she doesn't want to hurt any of you.
But there's a chance that she might have to in the end. Our opinions be damned.
Perhaps. But even for her, that would be the absolute last measure that she wants to take. But I'm of the belief that maybe she should open with it instead.
That unique ability of hers.
He nods and he starts to pour another shot.
I mean,
If you have any hope to defeat him, you need to open with a powerful strike. You need to catch him off guard. And perhaps it might not be something he sees coming. And he slams the shot back and places the glass down to the bar. That may be a gamble, if I'm being honest, but I do also think that it may be the best shot. The opening blow of any battle is also a very decisive one. And you deal a deep enough blow, everyone may have a chance.
that's a fair point.
What do you remember about Nikon?
Not being the best of students in his class. But he was, I would say he was kind of like a father figure in a way to a lot of the warlocks in the order. You couldn't ask for a better teacher.
He certainly had that father-like energy to him.
Sometimes he could be a bit too much like a father in a sense, but it showed that he cared.
There's just this quiet moment between you two as you're both remembering him. I recall the last time I talked to Nikon. It was maybe 50 years ago.
Jesus.
And when he says that, immediately you recognize he does not look anywhere near 50. In fact, Julius looks like he's still in his 20s.
He still
So
looks
when
like a young man.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this, because you know how humanity's lifespan tripled since the Traveler came into being. This, given the number of years he's describing and how long it sounds like he's been around,
He's
there's something more.
he somehow has the lifespan of a guardian without being a guardian.
You can infer that much. He was still taking on new recruits, and he only had begun to take up a leadership role within the Warlock Vanguard. He didn't seem too happy about taking up the position. He felt he was better served among the people, helping them. But he was eventually convinced by Osiris to, well, the way I understood is that Osiris convinced him that he would be serving the people better by helping more guardians become stronger.
Believe that.
Well, as fond as I am of remembering fallen comrades, we both have work to do.
Well, let's get back to it then.
He just taps on the bar and you guys will go back downstairs. At this point, we're going to be aiming to close out soon. So is there anything you guys want to do before we end the session?
Not really.
Nope, I'm just heading to the moon.
We're going to the
Meditation.
moon.
All right, then. So we'll go ahead and end the session here. And next time, go into the moon.
Fly me to the
Fly me to the
moon.
moon.
Let me swing among the stars.
Let me
me
beat
show
his
it
fucking
one
ass.
Jujutsu.
So, what are we thinking? How are we feeling?
Penis.
Maybe a little more genuine feedback?
Beep.
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I'm reversing.
Yeah. I'm like, I just wanted to get my drone fixed this time at least. Get Ringo back.
Yep,
up
so
and
I
running.
well, I'm curious, would Eros be going with the moon party?
No idea.
Maybe.
Is he?
Well, I'm asking.
Is he?
Maybe.
Well, you'll have time to think about that before our next session then.
I'm just gonna keep you all going on it.
All right, so just peeking over at chat. Thank you, Galaxy Star Queen. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, shoot. I've been playing with Transformers this whole time, so I've been like listening and doing, and I'm like,
Better than what I've been doing.
I found out something interesting on one I just pulled out.
I was half expecting you guys to engage the Vex in combat.
But we made kind of a truce with them, so ta-da!
Well, you guys made the effort to actually try to converse.
No, it's not always murder hobo status.
Well, that was
Shoot,
the
okay, know what to do
the
next
choice
time.
I laid before all of you was that they're going to be here. They're going to be looking rather strange. What are you guys going to do? Because you guys could have had a surprise round and straight up just probably pretty did some significant damage.
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah,
now
like, I was more or less setting up an ambush until like we got more information.
yeah, I'm like, I'm
Ooh.
getting ready just in case too, and I'm like,
Diplomacy.
hey, we never know what's gonna happen.
Yep. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see that you guys did not choose the path of violence.
Okay, guys, next time, violent.
I surprised even.
Well, yeah,
myself.
it's going to be violence next time because where are you going?
No.
The moon!
Just
We're
when it
going
looks
to
like a
get
peaceful
on
moment,
the moon!
the
Moon's
peaceful
haunted.
moment.
The
we're
moon's
just
haunted, bro. We're going back.
Boo, boo. I'm scared now. Somebody hold me.
So I tried to find. So
We're
after,
dorks.
like, I tried to find the fucking video of or the fucking not video, the like Tumblr post that's like flying to the moon. Let me take its fucking ass. I found a whole version of the song.
Oh, no.
It's
Okay.
amazing.
Okay, with all
great.
that, does anybody have anything to plug?
Nah.
I didn't ask you. I was talking about the people who are important here, Dave.
Oh, RKO out of
Invite
nowhere.
really feel
No, but do you guys have anything you need to plug or want to plug, or do you even
yeah.
care?
If any of you guys stream, please, I encourage you to share it.
We're trying to
User
make
redacted.
Yes, that is user redacted. It is also known as Mercer. You'll sometimes hear his name being called Maguma. User redacted is his new name. We're just going to call him user redacted, which I need to change his name in the Discord to reflect that. So it's user redacted all the time. Does user redacted have anything up streaming yet? Like, just out of curiosity.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
you can find him over on Leader Kill as Twitch.
That is true. I'm mostly there.
And then Dave's got his Twitch channel. You can find his link down below. As soon as user redacted gets one, I'll put a link down there for him too. The rest of the jokers we don't really care about here. We just have them on.
important. They don't have trust.
Yep, just ignore them. Hang on, let me mute that noise.
Oh my god. You son of a bitch.
Okay, that's it. There we go. Now, okay, we're done with that. Now he can stay muted for the time being.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God,
scared.
you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
No, all the players are important here. So it's like, no, but if you guys have anything you want to plug, go ahead and spit it out. Give me links too, and I'll put them up so that way others can see them.
Like, if you guys start doing anything like that, I want to help support you guys any way I can too. So yeah, like we want to put that out there for you guys. So, but in the meantime, next week we're gonna be back with Transformers.
Oh yeah.
And the adventures of Overload, Gilgamesh, and Void Striker.
Yeah.
Are we coming up on the end of season 2?
Not of Transformers, of
let
Destiny.
me actually.
He's talking about the Destiny one. That's this one.
Yeah, no, I know what he meant.
No,
I know what he meant.
No, I'm telling everybody else. No, he's talking about that Transformer one. Although the first season of that will probably be coming up soon. The end of it. So that's when they all fall into a black hole and die.
I would say we're reaching kind of the height of the season, and things are going to continue to progress. I'm hesitant to really say like how close we are, because we are getting closer, because all the stuff that's leading this, we're building. It's building to something very huge.
A crescendo.
Yeah, and I can't say how many sessions we're gonna have in between that, but what I will say, and kind of a fun fact for anyone who may be listening, coming up in March will actually be this campaign's 2-year anniversary.
Doing that for this long. Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. We're a year and like what, 8 months? 9 months?
Yeah.
So yeah,
because we started technically in March, so yeah.
Yeah, March 2021 is when we started.
So yeah,
we started this campaign. So
yeah, so it's been going
I mean,
for quite some time.
I would say just between this. We're gonna be here for a little bit. I'd say probably at least a few months. We may not necessarily hit the end of the season at that 2-year anniversary. Like, as much as I would kind of like to, I just don't know if it's going to build that far. But we'll see. But we are coming closer and closer to our big finale.
Well, we still also have fucking Tanix to deal with too.
Yep. I mean, there are many things still at play here. So there are other things that can happen between now and then. So there may be things that extend it out a little bit further. There may be things that end up shortening a little bit. So it's up in the air, but it's something I'm working towards, and I'm hoping that we can make this even better than our first season.
We literally rally an entire universe to fight one dickhead.
Wait.
I mean, we're talking Avengers Endgame kind of shit here at that point.
Guardians! Never mind, I give up.
Assemble. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, you gotta think about it. Imagine like God Hand's like, oh yeah, just the Vex and like a few Guardians are coming here to kill me, and he just looks over and it's everybody.
Hi, we brought some friends. Is that okay?
The Hive, the Fallen, the Cabal.
Yeah, everybody's here.
The
Hey.
Elixni, the
Yeah.
fucking...
Yeah, everybody's here. Hey, we brought everybody to the party. Is that all right?
Even the fucking the Witness is there too, and he's like, yeah, I'm about to fuck your shit up, dickhead.
God Hand is the witness.
Jeez.
But yeah, like I mean, I'm planning for something, fairly big. I do obviously want to go bigger than our last season. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Let's see. Okay, we're done with all that good stuff. Okay, good. If anybody wants to catch up on any of past episodes, the YouTube link should be working down below in the Twitch channel. It has the past recordings and incidents of all our goofiness and shenanigans, and the Transformer one is there too, along with other stuff I do. So you can check it out there and catch up. Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't remember.
I don't think so. Unless there's something you're going to be doing earlier in the week, maybe additional streams.
I'm going to try. I've been trying for the past 3 weeks, and that has not been successful because of work. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
exhausted.
I mean, life has a way of interfering. So, but...
Life finds a way. Wait, that's Jurassic Park. Never mind.
Okay, no.
Yes, we're a bunch of idiots, but you love us all the same.
Now I'm gonna have to make a Jurassic Park theme.
No, you just clip that. Just
Yeah.
all of us like off key, not synced up in any way. Just
Now I know what I'm going to be doing for the next 12 hours. But yeah. Catch Christ. Oh, I am so sorry. Oh wait, no, I'm not. This is all the fun. But yeah. Catch us all every Sunday so far around 1 o'clock Pacific time. The rest of the jokers can tell you their times because I don't want to think. Although Dave's I know is an hour difference from mine. He's in the mountain section.
we are literally across this entire country. We are in all the time zones except for Alaska and Hawaii.
All of them.
Yeah.
I'm in Alaska and Hawaii, obviously.
No, you don't count though.
Nah, if you really want to fuck
You
with
don't
somebody's
count
mind, tell them that Alaska and Hawaii share a time zone.
Oh, and,
Alright, I'm a dip.
yeah.
Bye.
All right, see you,
bro. You
Kitsune.
have a good night, man.
All right. So yeah, we are international a little bit with the Transformer one because we have the other player who is Australian. So it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're a little.
Yeah, we are growing we're growing worldwide, baby.
And
Mr. Worldwide.
I know I have said in the past I'll have a Patreon. I
It's a
want to
305.
trying to I will. God. But yeah, I'm trying to still set one up, but I've been so busy with so much stuff. I will eventually get one up, and all that money will just go right back into all this. I don't spend it on myself.
And we'll as far as the Patreon, we'll be working out other stuff to it because we do
Yeah.
want to add stuff like little incentives for our people to come in and help support. So
And-
we may be looking at doing some other stuff here in the future as we get the Patreon set up for that.
Yep.
But for now, as soon as we do have that set up for everyone, we will obviously let everyone know, and we'll have the links out for it. But when that time comes, we'll kind of do like an announcement to everyone, just like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing. This is what it is. And if you want to support us, we'd love to have you.
And I will be, since I know Galaxy Star, you're here. I don't know if anybody else is in the chat, but
I
if they
saw
see-
Nyx was in there earlier, but I
Yeah.
don't know if she's still
oh,
around.
she already, she's,
She was baking banana bread last I
Yeah.
saw.
yeah, I got text messages quietly on my phone from her that she's covered in dough and flour. So I'm like, that's the reason why she's not messaging very often. But no, I'm gonna eventually start. I might do a giveaway here soon on the Transformer side of thing, but it will be posted up, and I might do something for the Destiny side here too. I just got to work on a few things with that, and I haven't really decided what I'm going to do fully. But the Transformer side, I've got some things to give away for contest wise. So we'll see how I set that up and how crazy it will be. And yes, you jokers can participate too. Okay. So Visor doesn't need one. I'm not giving him one.
What were you giving away?
Nothing? You didn't hear nothing.
Well, no, because if anything, I might contribute to it.
You got anything Destiny wise? I might be able. No, I'm kidding. Don't say anything. Not on stream. I don't want him to know yet. Yes, yes. I don't want him to know what it is yet. We will see. But yeah, enjoy the shows that we put on. We're nuts. We're crazy. We go. Yeah, we're whatever. But yeah, catch everything. We'll see y'all later. Wherever you're at in the world, have a
Yep.
good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Just be
Yep,
safe out
thank
there.
you for allowing us into your homes and allowing us to entertain you. We do appreciate you giving us your time and your views.
And
We're
we
all vampires. We had to be invited in.
and we apologize for Blue Visor already. Sorry. No. Oh.
Sorry, I shit on the rug.
No, we apologize in advance for that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I forgot. That's a disclaimer. You got to read the really tiny, tiny print. Sorry.
Yeah, I shit on your rug. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, all right. With that, we're saying bye. So,
See you guys next week. Get some sleep.
bye. Pathetically, I say bye.